It's just the tip.
That's what she thought, at least. No.
Hey!
Howdy, y'all.
This is Crazy Peas. I'm TPAW.
Karnage 6778.
And we're here to talk some Blue Beetle and DC and
Other randomness.
yes, whatever comes up. We've taken a couple weeks off, a few weeks off, because life and stuff. And oh yeah, do you want to announce the news?
What, that I have somebody now?
Yeah,
That's true love.
yeah,
Nobody can stop me.
yeah. We've had some other stuff happen in real life, and things just kind of happen the way they happen. Um, invite to join live.
Hit decline.
Decline. Okay.
Yeah, no, we're not. No offense, this is our
Yeah, we're talking about the TikTok
podcast.
side of things. People on YouTube. Yeah, no, he's got a new lady now. Lady friend, and
That's
you know,
more than lady friend.
yeah,
She's my girlfriend.
yeah, girlfriend of Karnage. The Carnage of Wheels has gotten a new lady of the night.
Sure, if you want to phrase it like that, you weirdo.
He's just straight to the point, and me, I'm just like all alliteration and poetry and things like that. I'm always doing wordplay.
Straight to the point's got me where I'm getting, so you know.
Yeah, like what's funny is every time I make a post about a sister or my wife and stuff, I'm always doing wordplay, and I'm always, telling stories with the posts and stuff like that. And
Well, because that's your.
some people think it's corny or whatever, and I'm just like, no, I'm a writer. Come on
Well,
now.
that's also just the way you speak and the way you tell
Yes.
stories.
Yeah, it's the way I talk and stuff.
All the time.
I've actually watched a lot of Rob's observations recently, and I think that that's one of the things that gravitated me to Rob. Actually, if you guys know,
Which Rob?
if you guys know the John Campea show, he's known as Robert Meyer Burnett on Rob
That one.
Observations. His channel, Rob Burnett Work. He will. It's funny is recently he actually has been talking to a lot of people about creating new shows on there, and so I may actually make a couple pitches to him. See
Hey.
if I can get us on the Rob Observations with Robert Network, because he was talking about it recently on because he was doing his little I pay like $1 like a month for his Rob
The
Observations
Patreon or
for the
whatnot.
Patreon, so I can get extra content and stuff. Because I was like, hey, it's Rob, I love
And it's only a buck. Fuck
yeah,
it.
it's $1 and stuff. So I'm supporting Rob in that way,
Yeah.
and I was watching one of his Rob Observations today with his Rob crew and whatever, and I was like, well, and he was basically talking about people pitching things to him, and he actually took up a couple of them on it because he liked their pitch and stuff, and he's like, done. And he was talking about how that actually is one of the things he wants to do on his channel.
Yeah.
Is he wants to have it to where like every day it's a different show, and he just simply is the host of the said show. Like not the host of like he's running it, but like he's basically
He's hosting everybody else's
yeah
broadcast on
yeah
his
his
shit.
his channel has other people's stuff on it, and that way he can grow his channel.
And also
Like
grow other people's stuff with him
he
so that way he
really
can build a good business family and
yeah
just family of friends.
yep yeah he really wants that YouTube creator pen, that little button thing that you always see them getting stuff when they hit a certain amount of subscribers and whatever. He wants that button.
Me, if and when I broadcast, which is rare, few and far between, especially with the current situation, it's just like, well, you get what you get. Either you like it or you don't.
Yeah, it's
I mean,
true.
you know me, I'm all straightforward all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Here's the facts, here's the bullshit. You like me or you hate me.
pretty much. And I was funny is with this newer laptop, I've been able to do a lot more than I have, than I'm used to. And for instance, I don't know if you guys have on the YouTube side of things. If you guys go on YouTube and you look up just simply TPAW, because I was just TPAW's Playground, but I've changed the channel name to TPAW, and I think it's just saying encourage people. On TPAW, basically, when you look it up and stuff, I got a new podcast that I'm going on with Jonas Nader, and it's Kaiju's Unite. And we're talking about Godzilla and other kaiju's and monsters and stuff like that. We haven't done it in a couple weeks because just we've been busy.
Life.
But we're going to be revisiting it very soon to talk more Godzilla and talk more about that sort of thing. Godzilla and Kong has now reached nearly 500 million worldwide, so they're going to likely have a lot of sequels for kaijus. Kaijus.
Well, I always found it funny in the kaiju worlds. A lot of them, not all, but in some of them, they have the mechs,
Yeah.
the Gundams, or
Something
the
Jonas
giant
is.
mechs.
There was one night where Jonas was just going on a complete total, spam of like sending me nonstop Gundam stuff with kaiju's in it and stuff like that, and then he was showing me clips from different movies that are made in Japan. That are like, you can tell it's made in Japan. You can tell it's not even remotely American. Like, for instance, there was one where Godzilla's fighting against a black hole, and he wins.
I mean, it's Godzilla, bitch. He always wins.
Yeah, no, it was.
Because I mean, if you think about it this
ridiculous but funny.
Because how big he is, the blast he produces could actually fill up the black hole with all the energy it wants to absorb, and then it's just gonna sit there. It's just.
Yep.
So,
plus, that guy, that monster lizard, he is. I don't know if you know this, but like on different versions of him have changed over time, and he either gets bigger or smaller depending on who's making the movie. But on average, he's like what 5, 6, 700 feet tall,
if not taller.
Yeah, he's huge.
They did a cartoon for King Kong and a cartoon for Godzilla back in the day where they figured out a way to like put it wasn't a collar, but found a way so that way they could talk to him like we talk.
Yeah, like actually, like
translation. Yeah.
Essentially, it's like a voice modulator that he wears on his neck, and you can actually hear his thoughts. And he goes, "Must eat humans."
No, but it was a kids show, so they kind of like
they
down
they kidded it up.
The killer
Yeah.
kaiju, and I'm just like, that's cute. Y'all are stupid. At least with that part. I mean, it was an entertaining watch. I watched a little bit of it, to see if it was decent or shit.
Yeah.
It was a decent show for kids. But for kaiju, it was crap.
Makes sense.
The King Kong version and the Godzilla version.
Yeah.
They sucked ass.
Be funny as if in one of these new kaiju movies, if they actually put like a voice modulator, even though like that was one of the best parts of the new Kong and Godzilla movie, was there was a part of the movie where there was no dialogue whatsoever. It was just going off of their expressions alone. And that was honestly,
I love that shit.
That was Gostell's favorite part. One of her favorite parts of the entire movie was watching.
You were talking about that with the most recent movie y'all just watched tonight.
Yeah.
Which, thanks permitting, next Friday you're babysitting the baby, so that way I can take her out for dinner and possibly the movie. So yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys gonna take
just for a heads up. Oh yeah, no, I already told her. Well, I've been helping babysit their kids on their date nights. Now I have somebody to go on a date with. So. Yeah, when I get paid, we might just waste a few bucks and go have some fun for a
Yeah.
night.
Yeah, then you can take turns ogling the Hispanic chick that was in the movie.
We'll see.
She was hot as fuck, like, wow. And then when she was shooting those guns, like, femme fatale. Like, total femme fatale.
That's why I like the show Nikita.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Thank you. I have another sort of thing.
Ministry of Ungentlemanly something. It was a big long title.
I don't know, you'd have to look it up on your phone because my phone's occupied with
Henry Cavill and Alan Richardson in it, and it was a really good movie. Like they made it to where like
the interviews alone that I saw on X and a few other things, it was just like yes, most definitely.
The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yeah.
It's It's a spy action comedy film, which is why I felt the way I did. Directed, co-written, and co-produced by Guy Ritchie, and it stars Henry Cavill, Isaac Gonzalez, Alan Richardson, Henry Golding, and Alex Pettyfer. It's based on the 2014 book Churchill's Secret Warriors: The Explosive True Story of the Special Forces Desperados of World War II. Yeah, no,
nice.
it was a fun movie. Like going to go see it. Like I got to go see it because with my job, if I get like good kudos calls from customers, then they give you movie tickets. So I ended up scoring one, and
Yeah, and you came outside and like,
Yeah.
I don't know what movie to see. I'm like, where are you
It's
going?
'cause, like-
AMC? No, you said AMC. I just went into it. This one.
Yeah, it's funny is I watched a couple Facebook ads this last week about it, and the interesting thing is she wanted to go see Kung Fu Panda 4 initially, right? And we go on AMC and there's no showtimes for it, and I'm like, already? And then
now you gotta wait till the DVD, haha, bitch.
yeah, and then you got Ghostbusters, which again had no showtimes. I was so blown away, and I'm like, the fuck? Like they only have showtimes for like a month, and then the movie's gone, like or 2 weeks, 3
Or it's
weeks.
a specialty blah 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 night
Yeah.
thingy that they're.
I
which
feel like
costs
they
more.
are starting to turn into a thing where they want you to book events rather than go for previously hosted ones.
Dogs of War. You gotta know.
Oh, it's a notification. Yeah, Motley Crue Dogs of War 426 shorts. Just something Motley Crue related. But yeah, no, I think honestly, one of the things that Rob has been talking about, and he's a Hollywood insider, he's executive producer, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like he's in his career, he's walked on the lots of Warner Brothers, DC, things like that. Which to me, as a '90s kid, I'm like, what? And because Warner Brothers and other.
Well, my first
other
thought
film
is,
studios.
you've gotten that far into the sauce.
Right. Yeah. No. That's the thing is, growing up as a kid, it's like Warner Brothers, DC,
Disney,
like New Line Cinema, like a lot of these different studios that I grew up watching as a kid and seeing their little emblems in front of the movies and stuff. Rob talks about them like they're, like it's like, oh yeah, I knew the guy that was working on that one movie, or I knew this person, and I'm like listening to him talk about it, but it's not like he just knew them; he worked with them as well, and he was walking up and down the lots of the studios with a clipboard in his hand and helping produce and stuff, and he started out as a stagehand. Like he started out as someone that was
at the bottom.
he started out as one of the behind the scenes guys that was just simply helping on the side, and he worked his way up to the point where he was working with Peter Jackson on Lord of the Rings, and he was putting together the DVD and the Blu-ray. Like I've made that comment to you quite a few times offhand, and like I'll mention Robert Meyer Burnett, and you'll be like, who's that? And I'm like, the Blu-ray or DVD you have of Lord of the Rings, and you're like, yeah, and I'm like, yeah, put it together. In fact, he was sitting in the living room with Peter Jackson doing it. But like,
I just laugh and go, okay.
Yeah, like I listen to this guy a lot.
Most of those names don't click with me. Some of them do, some of them don't. Some of them I know just off the name, or I hear you talk about it. I'm like, I know the name. I don't remember what the hell you said about the person with whatever movie or whatnot.
Yeah, I absolutely love listening to him over a lot of other people because one, no offense, but the landscape of media has gotten horribly negative. And
well, I mean, it's all bullshit.
Don't like having that in my head, especially with everything that's been going on recently and over the last few months. And I also I like listening to somebody who feeds into my escapism.
Oh, of course.
Feeds into the idea of like, in a world where you're dealing with nonstop badness and other things and whatever, having an imagination connoisseur who is talking about movies, entertainment, things like that, and he is, embedded in the industry and like knows a lot about it. When I went onto this, I was listening to him talk about it on his observations the last couple weeks, and going, okay, he's talking about how movies are changing, or a movie, the way that everything is changing and shifting. And I was listening to it, and then I checked the movie times today, and I'm like, what if he's right? like everything's fucking changing, and it blows my mind because like I'm used to a movie staying. I remember the days when the movie would be in the theater for like weeks at a time. Like we're talking like 3 months. Like 2 to 3 months.
2 to 4 months, yeah.
Yeah, but now it's like 2 to 4 weeks.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, like you hear the movie's out and you're like, oh, I'll just wait till, it's cheaper or whatever. There's less people. You may not have that opportunity anymore.
Fuck no.
You may have to go like right then and there because it will be gone. Like,
yeah, but me and her will talk about it on the whole see the movie.
Yeah.
I want to go see that one anyways.
Yeah.
But for me and her date, we'll talk about it. But I think with the way you were telling us about the movie and how it portrays and is filmed, I actually saw her energy go, ooh, that might be a fun one to watch.
Yeah, no, I think you guys will have fun with it if you guys are actually ever able to catch it in the theater. It is one of
But
those
we'll
movies
catch it in
that,
the theater, like I said, next week. I get paid next week, homie. So
yeah.
next Friday, I'm sorry, y'all watching the kid.
Yeah, no, it's funny. It's like I was walking into the theater with her. Right, we're sitting down, getting ourselves situated and everything while the trailers are playing, and I realized something as the movie started to play. I was like, I just realized something. The only time we ever go to the theater anymore are for big, massive movie events like Avengers, Guardians, things
Yeah.
like that. Big movies. We don't normally go there for smaller little things because we normally don't have the money for it, and so we end up seeing it on streaming anyway.
Yeah.
And then I was like, this is really an oddity, going and seeing a spy thriller like this. That's not even a major tentpole movie. It
Which
was
was
more
my whole
small.
thing because it was who was in it and the way they were talking about each other and joking and the manner. What's his name? Who plays Superman
Henry
versus
Cavill,
and the guy who plays
Alan
Richard.
Richardson, Alan Richardson, or Alan.
Yeah.
I'm trying to say his name right. Alan Richardson.
I don't know. They're
I
talking.
guarantee you walk into a room and everyone sighs. Your fave team mom. You aren't funny. What's going on in the comment section?
I don't know. Somebody just being a little pain in the ass. Just ignore it.
Someone is not funny.
I think they're
You're so
talking about
pretty. Do
us.
you have diabetes? Oh, I
Somebody's just talking crap.
okay. So you're
So I let them.
have fun trolling, I guess. I was talking about the girl who was making a rude joke because she thinks she's funny. Oh, well, have fun with that.
Okay.
Thank you for, I guess,
I'm wearing my hoodie today because
making a
it's
joke.
raining outside and
I was so confused for a minute that I was like, how is that even relevant to what we're talking about?
it's not. It's them talking amongst themselves, but I saw it and I looked at it for a second. I'm like, okay, not relevant to us.
Yeah.
But anywho,
Yeah.
but I literally saw them like shooting back and forth and Reacher saying about the guy who plays Superman and the Witcher. Brain names. Bye.
Alan Richardson.
Yeah, that
Hang on.
he's a real nice
I
guy.
have the link.
He was talking shit on the guy who plays Rich.
Alan Richardson. I knew I said the name right. Okay.
That's
Alan
Richard,
Richardson.
right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and
Jack
the other
Reacher.
guy's Henry or
Henry Cavill,
yeah,
Superman.
Henry Cavill was
And The
talking
Witcher.
crap on.
Oh, Henry Cavill.
Yeah, was talking crap on
Oh, you mean he
Alan?
was? Oh, you mean he was trading funny verbal spars?
Well, it was two interviews. They had at separate times, but it was like right after like the premiere or something.
Yeah.
Or something that was supposed to be like shown after the premiere.
Henry Cavill is
But
such a suave, smooth gentleman, though, that like
but see,
I
that's
can't
what
take that shit
Alan
seriously.
was saying, that he's such a nice guy and da da da. Oh, he's, and he was making the exact opposite quirk towards Alan. Henry was, and he's like, oh, I'm just joking. He's like the nicest fucking guy to work with.
Yeah, no, Henry Cavill. Like what's funny is I
Those
remember
two
back
guys
when
are really good actors.
I
and they're
remember
nice
back
people.
when Man of Steel came out in 2012,
Yeah,
and
that takes me back.
it did not like that version of Superman didn't
Did
hit
not
me.
hit.
It didn't hit me the right way that I wanted it to because I was also still fresh off Smallville.
Yeah.
Like watching that show and stuff. And so when that show came out, like,
I mean, it hit me differently also because you gotta remember in the 80s, that's when they were starting to put it on the TV, the old school Superman and on VHS. So I'm like, that's what's fresh in my mind because I know that's where they're taking,
yeah,
you know, jumping with the story. So I'm like, okay, let's see. I think they did a decent job with it, but the whole Smallville thing, my brain just went, oh, that's something different. Just keep it over here.
That's something. Okay, so that's another thing that I found interesting was Robert himself years ago. I'm not a big Man of Steel fan, right?
Okay, that's
But
fine.
Rob went and made the most compelling, like, love letter, like, debate note towards Man of Steel because he loves Man of Steel.
Yeah.
And like,
I mean, it's a good film.
And like, it threw me off because I'm like, I gotta watch Man of Steel again to see his point of view.
Of course.
Because Rob he's like, he is a very
his dynamic is different than most people.
He's very much an intelligent wordsmith is how I'd put it.
Yeah. Okay.
And like, he's not like, you know how like I've enjoyed Russell Brand, I've enjoyed, you know, of course, Kevin Smith, and I've had the list of people that I've enjoyed watching. Rob is
And you tell me
completely
about it,
different.
so yeah.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that when on the John Campea show, Rob will literally have to keep himself like
Contained.
contained and backwards with the John Campea show because it's all about John, it's all about himself and everything. Because it's just the way he manages the show, and like everyone else on the show
That's
gets
his
like
personality
yeah,
sort
it
of
gets
thing,
like
yeah.
10 seconds of screen time or like a minute or two of screen time, and then the rest of it's just him to go ham on himself. And Rob is just like he has to like really control what he says because he has to make his point succinct and like direct. But yet when he's
Or gets
when
mistranslated with that.
yeah, but when he goes
format.
to town on Rob Reservations, he will go for an hour, like you.
Yes.
About random points and stuff, or go, and he'll make the joke and be like, I'm staring at the camera and there's that blue light on the camera and I'm literally just talking to the blue light. So if you guys are there, you're amazing. I appreciate you. I have no idea if you're actually listening. And I'm just like watching this and I'm like,
nice.
I'm reminded of Karnage right now.
Nice. I mean, I don't give a crap if they're watching. I'm gonna talk either way.
Yeah. So it's just like
I mean, you've listened to me. I just go off on a tangent or something clicks and it just, here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So that was like I said before, it was a fun movie. When you actually watch it, we'll be able to fully review it. Very stylistic, like not like a typical war movie. Like there were times in the movie where I was like, "Is this a war movie? Is this a spy thriller?" Like I was trying to figure out its identity, but I knew its identity fit in somewhere in there, and that doesn't mean it's a bad movie or anything. It was an awesome one, especially when I saw it for free. But I paid for the drinks and popcorn, but it was
Well,
still a
there's
good
$30
movie.
gone.
Yeah, that was that. No, I wanted to go pay for the drinks and the popcorn. I'm like, how are you? $30, 26, whatever.
Round it up, motherfuckers.
I'm just like,
$30.
I'm just like going, bro. Like no wonder.
Ouch.
Yeah, like no wonder these movie businesses, new movies, theaters are starting to go out of business. They just cost too much. People just will watch on streaming anyway. Even though I'm the guy that loves the movie experience, like
right, it's more
it's
fun
magical for me
to go to the movie theater, sit there with somebody or by yourself, and just go, I can just relax and watch a movie.
Yeah, like there's something really intimate, especially when you're sitting there with your wife, holding her hand and or having her cuddle with you, and you're sitting there watching a movie together with her, and there's like this just giant intimacy. They don't recommend it for first dates or few dates, but when you're like 13 years in, like it doesn't matter at that point, and you're just cuddling with her, and you're able to share that movie experience.
Anybody tell me not to cuddle, they better be ready for a knife or a gun, motherfucker. Excuse me, you said what, stupid?
Right. Yeah, no,
I'm sorry, that is my fuel.
I watched.
I love cuddles.
See, and that's the funny thing is there was like 8 horror movies that were playing there, and I was like reminding myself that my wife's not a horror person, and I'm just like, God damn it, because I like
when you
horror
made
movies.
that comment outside before y'all left, I just like, all right, where? Okay, hang on a sec. Give me a minute. No. Oh, that'd be nice, but she doesn't like horror films, he said. And I know that. So
Yeah, these movies need to just be playing in the theater during October, and then I need to have like a lot more money so I can just drag the wife to the movie theater like a few times, watch horror movies in the theater.
The horror movies I liked watching in the theaters when they came out on or right near Halloween was the first like 3 or 4 Saws.
Yeah.
After that, I'm like, okay, you lost because you changed the story too much. Fuck off, I'm done.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
that was it with those.
Saw was an interesting experience
The first
for me.
3 or 4, the last one I watched, I think it was 4. Might have been 5.
Like
I think it was 4.
The first few of them were decent. First few of them were decent.
Because of the way they changed the story, I'm like, go fuck yourself. You just, bitch.
It was like gore porn meets puzzles.
Yeah, it was.
How many times can we dismember a human body in different ways, and then how do we insert a compelling puzzle in the mix? And then
some of the puzzles
story.
that it was, it's like, oh my god, they're still alive, or don't do this because you're gonna cut off your hands.
And if you're a big
shit.
Saw person, like you love the Saw franchise, nothing against you at all. Like,
no,
appreciate
some
you too.
people like it.
Yeah, I know there are people out there who
but
love
some of
Saw.
the stuff that I saw, I'm like, I see you work around. I see you work around. I see you work around. Like with all of it, I'm like, you're an idiot. There's an easy fucking out.
To understand, the newest Saw actually takes
I've heard it's
and
10 times better than
pages
than
out
the
of the
last
first
few
Saw.
ones since the
Like it returns to its
last
origins a
four,
bit with where Saw
last
came
three,
from as
yeah.
a story. And so, like, I know
I
that the
actually want to
first two
see
were
it
good.
just to see because I've heard that it dives deeper into the story like the first three did a little bit, and I'm like, okay, this might be one where I have to go back to that genre or that series to see if it's actually decent.
Which is funny because if you ever delve into my own writing stuff, which my links on YouTube are down below in the description, if you ever
if you want to
delve
find it
into
on TikTok, go into my videos. I have a few advertisements for his books, and the link should be in the little descriptive part.
a little harder to find on Amazon because of the way
They do it.
Yeah, because I call it TPAW, right? But on Amazon, in order for you to be able to find it, you have to go like T.P.A or whatever. It's a lot of initials, TPA Wolfric. But basically, my stories often take pages from old horror. And it hurts saying that because to me that just seems like it's still relevant horror. But like 1985 was not like 2 years ago.
It this way, 85.
Yeah.
That's almost 40 years, dude, because I'm 41.
Yeah,
so
no,
for me, I just go, oh yeah, when I was a kid.
I'm starting to feel a little ancient whenever I
Don't call yourself ancient. That makes me fucking dust. Fuck you, bitch. I ain't as old as dirt, motherfucker.
It makes me feel like I'm older now because I'm like sitting there. I was calculating exactly how much time it's been since Empire Strikes Back came out. Okay.
Oh, that's been a good while.
And I was rejecting the notion that it was a really old movie, right? And I'm like rejecting it and going, no, it's not. It's not that old. And I'm like, wait, 80, 90, new millennia, 10, 20. Fuck. I was calculating how many years it's been, and I'm like, no, because
I'm old.
Because that's the pages I take a lot of my storytelling from is stuff from when I was a kid and a teenager.
Or stuff you grew up around.
Which is funny because you guys would be like, you're not that old. You weren't even born yet. It's like, yeah, but my parents raised me on Generational X stuff, okay? Like,
Generation X.
Yeah, like I was raised on 80s stuff and 90s stuff and stuff that was before I was even born. Like a lot of my film knowledge comes from an older time period because my parents were Gen Xers.
I find it funny because when you talk about it, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that movie. Oh yeah, I remember when that came out on TV, and you're like, that was like before I was born. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
so when
he always takes me to Ice Storm because it reminds me that he's my aunt Kimmy's age.
Well, I always thought it was funny too because we talked about. We'll get to Blue Beetle eventually, but
which is funny because Blue Beetle's done like an '80s movie,
which is why it hits great.
Yeah.
But going back for a second, like when I was telling you the first time I saw, I think it's Empire Strikes Back when Darth Vader says, "I'm your father" or "I am your dad," sort of thing.
No, I am your father. No, that's impossible.
Yeah, and I told you it was like, oh yeah, no, I knew that was coming. It's like, how? I'm like, I don't know. I just like instantly knew.
And yes, I correctly quoted that because I got corrected a few years back.
Yeah, right.
Because my brain, because your brain tells you that it's no, Luke, I am your father, but it's not. It's no, I am your father. It's like he goes no, and then he goes, I am your father, and he says it so definitively too that your brain automatically inserts the word Luke because he's talking to Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, right? But see, I always thought it was funny. It's like, well, that was obvious. And everybody's like, what do you mean that was obvious? It's like, I'm sorry, did you not catch that from the first film?
I was 6 or 7 years old watching it on VHS for like the millionth time. And the only time I ever saw it in the theater was when they re-released it in the 90s, which really confused my brain because I'm like, why is it on VHS if it's already been if it's in the theater? So I thought that they were going backwards. And my dad's like, no, this is just re-released. But like when I was a kid, I rewatched Empire for like the millionth time, and I sat there in the living room, standing there, not standing in the living room. Mom comes in with mac and cheese and hot dogs and whatever she'd made for dinner, and I'm staring at the TV, and she goes, "Are you okay, honey?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Then why are you standing there puzzled? You're watching Star Wars for the millionth time." And I'm like, "So was it surprising when Darth Vader tells Luke that he's his father, and she's like, yeah, it was like a big plot twist. And I'm like, really? Because when Daddy goes and disciplines me, he has to explain to me what he did, and he's taking it easy on me, essentially. Luke Skywalker is not a Jedi Master. And she's like, yes, I know, honey. And I'm like, so Darth Vader could have killed him in 5 seconds. He's a Sith Lord, right? She's like, yeah. And I'm like, so why is he going easy on him if he's the bad guy? He clearly is his dad.
Well, I thought it was
Mom literally
obvious
looked
from-
at me and went, how did... You're only 6!
Yeah, and me, I mean, because it came out in the TV, because we didn't have it on VHS, but
Yeah.
it came out on TV, and I watched it, and I'm like, well, that was obvious,
Yeah.
and stuff, and I don't even remember if anybody was in the room, but it was like, well, that was obvious. And it's like, when I told you, I literally thought that and said that straight off, you're like, you, like, knew as a little kid? It's like, I thought it was, like, duh.
Yeah, no, Dad had further explained it from his point of view because he'd read the novels as well.
Yeah.
He read A New Hope, and then he read Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi on the ship. And I found the books on the ship when he was taking us on the ship and stuff. And I found him in his little bunk. It's like his little bunk that has like
I know
like
exactly
a blue
what you're talking about,
frilly
yep.
thing that covers the bunk and everything to give him privacy or whatever. So I found Empire Strikes Back on his thing, and I was confused because it was a book and not a VHS tape. And he's like, well, son, these are books. They were written. They were novelizations of the movie. And I'm like, they do that? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay. So I stole it. And started reading it.
Course.
And I found the part where in Empire, Luke is, fighting against Darth Vader and stuff. And I got to know more details about it and stuff. And
from the book point of view, it's way different because you get to hear their thoughts.
Yeah. And you get to the idea that that not only is Darth Vader probing Luke in his mind and stuff, but Luke is getting sensory detail from Vader, which kind of ruins the plot twist because it's obvious in that fight that Darth Vader's trying to find a middle ground with Luke and is trying to test out his abilities and is pretty much making massive jabs at Obi-Wan for being a lazy teacher.
For being a piece of shit.
Yeah, for being a lazy teacher. Like, he's literally being like, mocking Obi-Wan Kenobi and being like, you could have done so much more with my son, and this is how you trade him, and this and that. Like, it was going overboard.
Been trading him for years. What the fuck?
Yeah, like, you haven't even tried at all. Like, all you did was do this because he brushed his memories, and Luke's only few memories of Obi-Wan are that one little thing, and then he like finds out that he learned from Yoda and things like that, and I'm reading this as a kid, and I'm like going, the bad guy's totally telling his teachers that they were bad. My child reaction to,
But I mean,
alien
I always
Yoda.
find stuff like that funny because I see it without ever reading the books because I always had issues with reading. I mean, we've discussed that on here and just in general. But I've always had an issue with reading because it puts me to sleep and my brain just goes, this is fun.
Certain books will put me out. Certain ones. I don't know what. I don't know them until I run into them, but they do put me out.
The ones that don't put me out is a story I already know I like.
If they grip me though,
and
I'm up all
dive
night.
into. The one, because Harry Potter will put me to sleep if I try to read it.
Yeah.
If I listen to it as an audiobook, I can listen to it. No big. So the funny part is, literally, Fantastic Beasts, when it came out as the script, as the book.
Yeah.
Dude, I like reading it 24 hours almost down to the second. Just 3 days of actual reading, but actual time reading, like almost exactly 24 hours, like done.
Yeah.
So I can do that sort of reading. Reading certain books, it's like, this is so boring. This fucking sucks. Fuck you. I'm gonna take a nap now.
It's funny as a teenager, especially a young adult, because as a dad, it's hard for me to read. So I listen to audiobooks a lot now. But
that's what
when I was
age and having kids does.
When I was a teenager and I was a young adult, though, like, you could not get me to listen to audiobooks on tape, like, at all. Like, for me, it's like I would read at my own speed, and I'd have like my own mental picture of what's going on, And so I didn't want to have somebody reading it for me. I considered that at the time lazy. And then now it's like, as a dad, I'm just like, fuck it, I'm lazy, I guess. And so I just fucking, the only time I can ever consume anything is with audiobooks.
Me, it was always.
But it's a nice little experience. Like, my opinion on that has completely shifted and changed, and now I'm just like,
that just has to do with it.
yeah. Now I just am like, you know what? Fuck it. If it's an audiobook, then I can consume it in 7 hours. But like, if it's a book, it's like I'll make it through like a chapter or two, and then I'm fucked because my kid will be screaming or something, and then one child starts screaming, then the other child starts screaming, and then they all collectively are going at each other, and then I have to go be peacemaker, and then that book that I was trying to enjoy ends up being forgotten, and I'm like, fuck, wasn't I supposed to read that? 3 months later, god damn it!
Right? Yep, know that one. But my brain just goes, life. I fucking put in an earphone and just listen.
Just watch when the children graduate high school, and then when they eventually find their way out of the house, out of the place and stuff, out of the residence, before they come back.
Try to kill us in our sleep.
Yeah, like watch one of these days when a lot of them are out. She'll be like, "Why are you reading so many books?" But like, make it up for lost time.
Yeah, but you are just like, nah, I just own every book on my phone. Like,
yeah. Well, it's funny because when I first started getting when Kindle first came out for Kindle Amazon or whatever back in 2010, like I found it weird that I had like so many paperbacks and yet no Kindles, and I was gonna start buying more Kindles and have to just buy the books or whatever. Now it's to the point where it's like I don't have that many physical books anymore. Now when someone hands me a physical book, I'm just like,
I wonder if I can get this on Audible.
Yeah, no, I literally go on Audible and go, are you available? No? Shit.
Right?
Oh, I found it for $10. Cool, mine. Now let me go ahead and listen to my earbud and put the paperback somewhere where the child will not rip it.
It's a collectible now.
Yeah, because the kids will literally autograph all my books with crayons or
whatever, because they're children.
Sharpies or whatever they find. Yeah. Like, I printed out 25 books of my book that I published years ago, and 10 of them were sold to coworkers and family members or friends, and then I wanted to sell the next 15, right? But then 10 of them got autographed, and I couldn't do anything with that, and I'm like, God damn it, children!
Yeah, no, been there, done that. No,
yeah, it's hard. It's hard being a parent and an entrepreneur creative. Because you got to choose one or the other sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And the child always comes first.
Yep.
So it's like
that's like the discussion
we're able to do this at night because they're asleep.
Well, no. I mean, this also kind of goes into the discussion I had with the new girlfriend and with you about idiot.
Yeah.
Like me. It's like, no, you have a kid. Kid.
Yeah, that was a very
then partner, then me. It's always kid first.
People on YouTube, you saw him in like one episode for like 10 minutes before he bounced.
It wasn't even 10 minutes.
He literally sat there over there, and he sat
behind me,
behind him for like 10 minutes, maybe 5, and then he just went, okay, I'm leaving.
He said 2 or 3 things, maybe 10 things max, 20 words to 40 words max, and then like, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, and then he just bounced, and I'm like, okay, I guess he's gone.
But the way we talk, even when Nephi gets on, he tries to insert himself, but with the way we're so used to just doing this, me and you, it's just a
he's just
jump
not
on the train or come with.
Yeah, he's just not a podcaster.
No.
Like I've tried talking about podcasting and stuff, and he'd much rather play his video games. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like earlier, Nephi. Both and Nephi. But I was putting on this thing, right, and I saw Net and Potter is playing blah blah blah, and I'm like, there he goes, back at it.
That's his wind down.
Yeah.
So I understand it. He's like, okay, I'm done with the kid. I'm done with everything today. I'm gonna wind down.
Yeah.
That I get. That sometimes when I need to wind down, I ain't got nothing or nobody to do or things occupying my time. I literally just get on my computer and I'll just wind down.
Yeah.
Or I'll listen to a podcast I haven't finished to listen to.
Yeah. A lot of times for me, it's finishing podcasts that I had to pressed pause on and forgot that I had clicked play on.
Oh, there's a couple of them where I just, oh look, podcast.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, I'm already 5 podcasts in. Shit, I gotta back up.
Yeah.
I did that with Distractable here recently because they've been putting out some episodes, and I just like, after cleaning the trailer one day, I was just like, I'm just gonna put it on because I've been listening to it, and I just passed the fuck out.
Good thing I got him Raycons.
Yeah, the good ones too, because I like the sport ones, because the way they sit in my ear is real comfy.
Yeah.
But they still kind of fall out. So shit. It's more like shit because they try to fall out of my ear. So
these are the ones that he likely was using, the fitness ones.
Yeah, those are the ones that I use 90% of the time now.
This one is the one I was gonna let his sister use.
I like those too. I like the bass on them.
The everydays.
They're nice.
These are the ones that I've been using recently just to try them out. The Impacts.
Raycon Impact?
Yeah, I'm just all Rayconed up at this point. They're a good brand. They're a really good brand. Like, there's a lot of people on YouTube that will talk smack on them and will, go on to their little
I've
thing.
listened to a few of it and I'm like, are we sure they're good? Have you used them yet? And then around Christmas, I bought you a pair, motherfucker.
Yeah, I got them
that
for
way,
cheap.
Since you don't know, but you're like, I've been told they're crap, so I'm not quite sure yet.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure about them a year ago, and then then around Christmas time, it was like December, January. I found them on Mercari for like half the price they normally are. Got myself a pair, and then he made a comment about it. He was like, "Oh, maybe if you got me a pair, I'll use them." So I found them for half the price I got them for.
Happen chance.
Yeah. and then the fitness ones, I actually bought 2 of them. I
so
bought myself
just
one.
Like, here, I bought an extra.
Yeah, I forgot that I ordered it, and then ordered another pair that was really cheap, cheaper than those. And I was like, shit, I got 2 of them. Fuck it, Karnages. Mine came in first, and then I was like, all right, the next pair that comes in is yours. And he's like, okay. So
cool.
he grabbed them and he started using them. But yeah, no.
Well, you know me. If I get free shit, it's like, all right, nice, let's do this.
Yeah, I get a lot of my tech now on Mercari or other places where you can get them for super cheap because I'm a dad and life's expensive.
And children are excessively expensive.
Yeah, I don't buy anything full price anymore.
I'm relearning that because of the current situation and basically opting into with the most love I can give to both of them, a pre-made family.
Yeah.
I mean, the other guy's an idiot.
You can thank Howlett for that one.
I'll just slit his throat and let him bleed out. No offense, with enough stupidities as I've heard, unless he actually pulls his head of his ass and takes the therapy and bullshit that he's getting right now.
Yeah.
The only thing I call bullshit too is, oh, I'm gonna get closer to God again. It's like, yeah, at the end of everything.
What's even funnier about that?
For me, it's like, are you seriously just saying that to appease somebody else or to make yourself look better than you are? Because you always talk out of your ass with a silver tongue, and I've literally heard you and seen you say stuff to people, and you literally back out of that shit like a weekend. It's like, alright, we're gonna see.
Yeah, he backs out of things daily. He'll say a thing, or he'll try to talk somebody into something, and then he'll back out of it almost
instantly. Bitch out
instantly.
at the last second.
Yeah. So when he was telling her that earlier today, she was trying so hard not to laugh.
And she told me, and she's like, he got offended. I'm like, good, he can get offended.
And apparently he got mad because she was trying her hardest not to laugh at him. And me personally...
Because the last time he said it, he just threw it in the toilet and flushed.
Yeah, but to me, like, you remember months ago is when I was telling him about how I was talking to the god Loki. And I was talking to Yahweh, who I call, people in, different religions call Yahweh God. In my head, Yahweh is the name that appears in my head, so that's what I refer to him as.
Hey, that sounds good
and
to
yes,
me,
I talked to multiple gods.
Today that, listen to the one I've sent you, Ninjas Are Butterflies.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how, like, the LOM isn't Yahweh, that's just another title. That's a title for a position he has, but his name is actually Yahweh. And I'm just thinking, like, I wonder how many of them I'm talking to that say their name's LOM that I'm just like, okay, whatever, homie. Because I don't listen to half of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear them all the time. We've discussed this on here and off.
Yeah.
With all the voices and entities I hear all the time, it's like I'll find out what your name is or who you are later. Right now, it's just okay. What's your take on the current situation? Take it or throw it away because of how I feel or where I'm at.
When I voice this, it's not a place of judgment. It's not a place of condemnation. It's not a place of even derision.
Right?
It's of pure irony. Okay? Because months ago, he was talking to me about getting a tattoo about Odin, right? And he was talking to me about trying to grow out his beard and wanting to be a Viking person. And
first, you have to have the genetics, my friend. I'm sorry, I come.
Depending on what mythology or what lore is how I should say, because mythology is not means it's not real. Depending on what lore you follow.
Well, okay, the mythos you decide to follow, 90% of them are 100% real. It's just the story is told, it's changed so often you don't know which parts are true.
But what I'm trying to say here is depending on what lore you follow.
Okay.
Because everyone has their bias, even you.
Well,
Loki.
we can discuss that another day.
Yeah, Loki comes from Viking lore.
From the Norse mythology.
Yeah, Norse that Viking. And with Howlett doing what he wanted to do months ago with trying to grow his beard and all those other things, I was talking about it like, you tell a Jedi, hey, get this type of lightsaber, or maybe you should learn this other fighting style, whatever. I was talking about Loki and things like that as if I was talking to a Christian about God, And
I don't talk to Christians about God. They get pissed because they don't like what I say. But anywho.
But what I'm trying to say here is that for a few nights on end, we'd be at the gas station and I would be replying to the God of Mischief, and then Hallett looked at me kind of like this, like quizzically, and I'm like, not talking to you, I'm talking to Loki, and he's like, and he would act so off about it, like so standoffish and just like, okay, or like whatever, and then and it was like he thought I was insane or something.
It's the person looking at you like you're apeshit nuts, even though you're talking to the entities that they don't believe in.
Yeah, and he was just coming off so atheist, and then we got in the car and I was asking him about it and was like, wait, so do you have like an issue with me being open about it around you? And he's like, well, no. He's like, technically I was also baptized in the LDS church and everything like that. And I'm like, so this is normal for you, right? And he's like, well, not really. And he was so like back and forth and standoffish about how he felt about it all. And it was so weird to me.
He's never had any sort of what everybody would consider a divine, thing to go click, to go, oh, obviously. Where, you've heard me, there's no divine click. For me, it's just, no, this is what it is. I know what it is because I've literally been shown in the only way that I can understand. They're all there all the time.
Yeah.
And if you're deaf or blind to it, you won't see it. Now, I admit, I'm blind to certain things that you say you can see, but I'm like, but I've known it's there the entire time.
Yeah.
Because we've talked about it, you're like, oh no, I saw it. I'm like, well, at least you can see it. All I know is I feel it.
Yeah. And it's weird and interesting because with him, his aura was so blocked. His chi was so blocked. And
because he hates talking about anything that has to do with religion
Martha was
of his
mentioning
trauma.
how he was turning back to religion and he was talking to God essentially.
Or what he sees as God, yeah.
Whatever. I was
sorry. That's personal commentary from what I've seen from him and I know about other people.
And I was listening to him talk about it, and I'm like going, "This is so interesting." Hearing him talk about it and actually being open about it, and then the other part of me was like, "But wait a minute, how real is this?"
And because he likes to say one thing and do the exact opposite.
And I'm like, how real is this, and how much is he trying to appeal to somebody? Because it's like,
I see it more as an appeal.
Because I personally don't do religion in general, right? I'm more spirituality than I am, any particular theist.
Well, I mean, you've seen me. Like I say, Wiccan first, all the other stuff that deals with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, Mormon, LDS, whatever the fuck you want to call them.
Yeah.
I know where the truths are in that church, and I know where the falsehoods are because of the idiots in the church, and I don't need to go to the church building. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do that. I know what I need to do because I talk to them directly. So go fuck yourself with your fucking bullshit because you don't have a clue because you can't see it and you don't know the knowledge.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's like religion has never gelled well with me,
Because
and
you always have an asshole in church just trying to get money.
right, and for me, it's I don't. The messages I've been getting from the gods in general is that religion was something that man created, and that they never intended themselves. Um, and so it's just like people will have their thought processes on it, and
The
that's
viewpoints
fine.
on it, yeah.
And for me, it's like, but I don't know. I've just never gotten the inclination that I need to be necessarily
in a specific religion, yeah.
right. For me, it's about
Well,
universal religion.
That's where Wicca spoke to me at first when I looked into it. Because Judy with the whole paganism thing, Calypso, my thing is paganism. You no. That means you're stuck to one godhead.
Which is funny because recently I got that. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but
Show it to the upper camera.
this, if you
might have to
know,
lean your head back so that way the light can reflect off it. Yeah, there you go. That's a little bit better.
if you know Disturbed's music, you'll know that that is the symbol that is on the second album called Believe, and it's them taking all the major religious symbols at the time in 2002 and putting them together into one big symbol. And for me, that's more of a representative of my beliefs.
The one that's a little bit bigger, but the one that's on the back of people's cars now.
Yeah.
The bumper sticker one. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, it's like this, this unified, universal idea of it all together.
Yeah, I mean that's like what I always talk about with her and you. It's well, why is one guy on top? Why can't I just like pick the ones that pertain to me or will uplift me and help me with my spirituality in a way where I can get to where I need to be at my highest form.
Yeah.
I don't need to pick Yahweh. I don't need to pick Odin. I don't need to pick Ra. I don't need to pick Zeus. I don't need to pick all these other ones like Ares and whatnot. I know who connects with me. I know which version of them, to me, is the true version of them who actually portrayed what they were supposed to be originally.
Yeah.
From my knowledge, from what I know. Because there's more than one adaptation of every god, depending on how you look at it, and the mythoses, and looking into the histories and stuff, how they changed it or
what's funny is
molded it depending
yesterday
on
when I heard
where they
thunderclaps
were.
and stuff, I was vaping outside on the porch and I heard thunderclaps and saw lightning and I look up and go, so which one is it you? Zeus or Thor?
Or both.
Yeah. I'm like, you guys having a rivalry right now?
Well, they're both fucking little bitches and fuck, shit, I dropped it.
And so I had to make the joke out loud to myself, and of course he found it funny.
Of course.
I was watching that whole thunderclaps and stuff, and and I was like going, you know, when I was younger, I was really hyper fixated on the Percy Jackson series, which is a book series, and which is Rick Riordan adapting what he knows of the lore of the gods into from the Greek and Romans, and putting it into a fiction series. And I'm like, so I wonder how much of that was real or how much of that was just Rick.
Probably a little bit more Rick than
actual.
than
than actual mythology, because the idea is that both Jupiter and Zeus, which are the same person, just different versions of him, kind of a dick.
Zeus has always been portrayed as the dick. But I mean, think about it this way. As it Thor also? He's kind of the drunk dick brother. But yet, he's powerful enough to do whatever the fuck he wants all the time.
Which is funny, because the Marvel version from the MCU is a much, much brighter,
it is
funnier
a
person.
better adaptation, but Zeus and Thor, if you look at them properly, are drunkards who run around, and Zeus more, with that mythos, run around and bang mortal women.
Yeah.
Thor has a wife who he screws every once in a while when he's drunk enough, which kind of goes into some different dynamics with the human culture.
Yeah. which is funny. Hecate has actually been talking to me a lot too
Nice.
in the last little while. Um, Loki told her to play nice initially, and was like,
I mean, nobody plays nice with me unless they want me to do something, but also a lot of them like watching the show that is me. So
yeah.
I enjoy giving entertainment.
And I appreciate him for doing that because it's like I would not have liked to deal
with the bitch version.
Yeah, I don't need
That's
to
the
deal with
nicest
that.
way to say it,
Yeah,
but
didn't
well,
want
that's
to deal
like
with
people. A lot of people don't know how to deal with Lilith, and I'm like, oh, I know how to deal with her. She's fun. It's like, fun. What do you mean? Do you know who this bitch is? I'm like, oh, I have not a clue who she truly is. You just know the stupid outside fucking persona that everybody pushes off or shows, or this is what it is, or this is who it. It's like, find out who she really is. You will actually like her a lot.
that.
What?
So just now, while you were talking about Lilith, I heard a random voice for some reason, and then Loki went, "Yes, acolyte, you did hear her," and I'm like, because apparently the voice in
The
the
person.
background person, apparently she, because my random stray thought went, I did name my child after a Lilith, didn't I? And then Loki went, yes, you did. And then all of a sudden I heard a very, very happy voice in the background responding to it. Didn't exactly hear the words, but apparently she likes the fact that I named my kid, Luciana's middle name is Lilith.
I mean, she wants to change the middle name. Maybe I could talk to her.
I think it's funny because it's like,
Lilith is always the one who gets the fucking shank though in the stories. It's like, but if you actually look at it, it's she's dealing with trauma of basically being told you're the first woman, but then got told to go fuck yourself. You're not worthy.
could you imagine that? Like being that person who has like a
Or
whole thing written,
I'm supposed to be the first woman, but yet because I won't bend a knee,
Yeah.
I'm being told to go fuck myself. Excuse me,
Yeah, for being a
motherfucker?
strong, strong-willed woman who is feisty and everything,
But see,
and
that's
because of that,
also
you
where
got
the
written
whole
out of
thing comes
history.
into like, well, Satanists, blah blah blah, to sacrifice babies. That's why we have Planned Parenthood with all this like abortion shit and stuff. And I'm like, if y'all had any clue the shit that's attached to it, has nothing to do with Lucifer himself. It's one of his little bitches that decided I'm gonna use your name and look at what I did for you.
Yeah.
Thanks for the energy, you stupid bitch. I didn't need it. Go fuck yourself. Because he considers himself a god, and if you look at Lucifer, or the character that uses the name Lucifer, even if that's not his actual name, which we've discussed that.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different fucking 2 hour
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah, no, we've had a 4-hour conversation about it.
Well, I meant 2 hours to compress it for them.
Yeah.
But anywho, it's the weirdness of he's as close to God and Jesus as you can get, God level power. So he's like, but he's more powerful than what everybody considers in most of the pagan religions as God level. It's like, do y'all not even know where the fucking power scale is? Do y'all have a fucking clue? And just me going over the bullshit one. I mean, I didn't even go deeper into the scale because I have it in my storage. I could literally pull it out and we can edit it even more and just
Yeah, I remember that
melt
giant.
brains.
There was this giant thing.
It was just a
That
foam board
you
I
guys
bought from
don't
the
know
Dollar
about
Tree.
because of the fact that it's been years now since.
Oh, you'd have to go
had it
back
around.
into the
But
TPAW
yeah, it was
channel and
first.
that was like
The
2020.
first initial series of videos from us on 2020, and he'd written entire like this board that you got from Dollar Tree, full of different things about gods and stuff like that.
Yeah, and the level from
Yeah.
mortal to supernatural entities to the pagan gods to the archangels versus angels and all the differences in power and scaling and the dimensional
Just helping him move some stuff,
break in
and
it.
then he is like, "Hey, grab that thing," and I'm like, "Okay." So I grabbed it and I looked at it and I'm like, "That looks familiar," and he's like, "Yeah, you should. We had it on the podcast that one night."
I have it sitting in storage. It's all ready to go, homie. I could just pull it back out and we could like edit it again.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have fun with that. Fucking scare and piss off a whole bunch of Christians and other people. And I call myself a true Christian. but I'm also wicked as fuck.
Yeah, no.
I am so monotheistic while also being polytheistic at the same time. I am every religion and no religion all at the same time. Because you've heard my discussions and talk
Yep.
about it. It's like I believe in all of it and none of it because half of it's bullshit and the other half I know is fact, so that's what I latch to.
Yeah.
It's the weirdness of, and this kind of goes into the whole like church thing with the patriarchal blessing and being told which of the 12 tribes of Israel I come from, and being told it, I'm like, oh, so literally if I would have gotten a patriarchal blessing at 12 when I first got the priesthood, been told that, and at 14 I could have had my own church and told y'all to go eat shit and die. You need to fucking speak the truth, not your lies.
Which is funny because Joseph Smith got heralded and considered the god of his own when he started the
That's
church.
how some people like to look at it. Yeah,
It's the way that it was translated to me when I was younger.
Yeah, seeing that's the stupidity of the mortal dumbasses who don't see the truth. They're like, he's like almost God level. It's like he's like maybe if you're lucky on the edge of Archangel.
Joseph Smith.
Yeah, because I mean, look at the archangels. The archangels actually came down to earth. What archangels aren't we talking about, or don't we know about that no religion talks about, that are obviously named as archangels,
Yeah.
but aren't named as their mortal forms, like Adam, Noah. I don't remember if Moses was one. I think he was. And there's like one or two others that it's been brought up within the last few years, especially me being in the old ward.
Mm-hmm.
It got brought up, and I'm like, oh, I didn't know that one. Okay, that's another click on my board of knowledge.
Yeah.
Just for shits and giggles. I can't pull it up right now because my brain's like, you want me to remember that? But that happens with age.
Yeah.
But it's like, if everybody knew where all this shit sits,
Yeah.
Lucifer's not really a bad guy. He's at first he was pissed. He knows he's gonna get fucked in the end, but he knows this isn't the only version of him.
Yeah.
So this version has done this a gazillion million times over, infinitely, and every time he gets fucked. But you can't 100% destroy energy just like God can't, because energy's constant. So what does it do? It feeds into his other hymns that weren't as bad or didn't get completely fucked because they didn't need a Jesus, a Messiah. So all the bullshit that happened on this world literally proves this is the shit world of all of them in this fucking existence reality format.
Yeah.
However you want to phrase it, however you want to map it.
Well, the funny thing is, Luke has actually been posting a lot.
The fuck? Do that.
What happened?
Just slide the. No. Oh, that. Oh, I didn't know you could do that. I usually just move the stupid thing. But yeah, okay.
I win.
That means we've been at least broadcasting for an hour. That usually pops up in an hour.
Yeah.
Holes.
Yeah, no, Luke's actually been posting a lot about their newfound, because they've been reading the Bible a lot more recently and exploring their old Christian faith and stuff. And
how that actually finds, whether it's, the Christian God or whatever, blah blah you want to believe in or believe is the top asshole. I hope he actually finally pulls his head out of his ass and finds somewhere, because then, if and when he comes out, he won't be a complete piece of shit, and he'll actually have grown enough for himself.
Yeah.
Maybe he can be a decent father.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Because that's like my biggest issue with him. It's like, dude, you're literally a shit father. I'm not gonna call you shit dad because you don't act like a dad.
Yeah.
And that pisses me off more than anything, because like you were telling her when we first got together, it's like, no, me and you are the same. When dad mode kicks in, it's just, it's finished, done, situation taken care of. Shut the fuck up, stay out of the way.
Pretty much.
Don't get into my sauce, bitch, or you gonna get stabbed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hope that he does, because of the fact that
it'll be good for him.
Yeah, his girls deserve better.
All of them.
Yeah, all of them. And he himself deserves better.
He deserves to pull himself out of the bullshit he claims he doesn't want to be, while at the same time being that.
Yes.
I have nothing against him. I just, like, my biggest issue is, you said you weren't going to be this piece of shit anymore, but yet everything I've seen is literally showing you're a lying piece of shit because you literally did everything you said you wouldn't do.
Yeah.
No more, no less. Just, you've literally done it to yourself, dude. Like, put your head in your sphincter? Can we, like, move forward? Can you, like, no offense, evolve and or grow up?
Yeah.
That's my biggest issue. And you know that.
You know, Luke actually posted something about the whole Jesus being on Earth and some of the other stuff that they posted, and it was so interesting and weird because the way Luke put it made so much more sense if you were not religious at all or didn't know much about it. You only knew
Christianity and whatnot.
you only knew
yeah.
Cliff Notes and some bare basic notes.
I mean,
and then,
that's what most people know.
and then
so.
and then people's snide commentary on it. And it was so interesting and weird because Luke was putting it in different ways on their posts and stuff. And I was like, this actually made way more sense than typically happens. Because people have this way of making talk of like spirituality, God, Jesus, other things, Cthulhu, whatever. They have a way of making it seem so untouchable. So untouchable. So like
overly powerful. You could never.
as Luke put it, it makes it to where those of us that struggle hardcore with our issues, we can't touch it. So therefore, there's a lot of us that struggle to even bother because of the fact that it is so. It's almost like
exhausting to deal with.
Almost like if you're trying to become like Superman, and you can't because you're not a fucking alien from Krypton, and you don't have superpowers. So how the hell are you supposed to try to be like Superman?
Me telling you, it's like the only thing stopping me is this mortal form.
Yeah, and so but
without this mortal form, there is no limitation.
The way Luke put it though made a lot more sense because Luke is looking at it as a flawed human who has struggles with massive anxiety, struggles with social anxiety, and struggles with the fact that struggles with the fact that she has had a family of utter zealots in Ohio.
That doesn't help either.
Yeah, and so when she was putting it the way she put it, I myself, as a Californian originally, I'm like, holy shitballs! Like the way you put it made way more sense than pretty much like most of all Utahns that I've ever run into that happen to talk about this shit. And it was like so interesting because it's like the way Luke put it was that God came to Earth as Jesus, and much like Anakin Skywalker was born of the Force, and then was crucified by humans who didn't understand his powers, were terrified of his powers, and then a power-hungry mongrel who was a king, and they killed him essentially, and then he was essentially reborn afterwards. So he basically brought himself back to life as a god and went back to being God after being human. And I'm like, one, it sounds like a fable, but two, it actually makes sense logically speaking. But that's because Luke is extremely logical.
But see, if you think about it that way, then wouldn't the Force be the Father, so the Force is the real God? And that goes into the whole Christian.
That's the gist of what Luke was talking about.
Thing about God the Father versus God the Son. It's like they're both God.
I'd have to
they're two different entities, but they both have the same level of power.
I'd have to dig out this series splurge of posts that Luke was making in the last 2 weeks about Christianity to really go into it.
If we dig, or if we could pull out from your brain or mine all the shit I've talked about on it, it sounds like shit like I would used to tell you when you were living in the apartments.
Yeah, no, people like get all sensitive too about that. They get all bent out of shape when you're like saying this sounds like a fucking fable because it's like our reality is unfortunately depressing, and our reality is unfortunately heartbreaking, and we have to look at the news and see people fighting over what fucking cult or political thing you're in, or
bullshit,
or they're fighting over what Nazi means, and you're fighting over who killed who in Israel or whatever, and getting judged
Which
over where
side's better?
or you're getting judged on what side you're on or whatever.
We're all mortals. We live on this shitty planet, and we're all a bunch of assholes. Somebody sacrificed themselves so that way you can go back and see Daddy. Shut the fuck up, enjoy the
And
ride,
so it's
and don't
like-
be a douchebag.
So it's like, unfortunately, you know, you guys may be getting bent out of shape over whether or not someone says that it sounds like a fable or not. But right now, we live in a world where that definitely sounds like fucking fantasy, because our reality is fucking crippling and depressing. And we're doing whatever we can to get through it.
The only reason I don't find reality crippling and depressing is because I'm already crippled, for one. And for two, why would I be depressed? I was a chosen one who got the chance to try to come here and enjoy more mortality for 100 years plus, depending on how shit rolls.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though,
To have fun.
is
I see this just as a roller coaster. There's always ups, there's always downs, but in the end, you get to where you're supposed to be.
right. But what I'm trying to say here is that it's hard to keep yourself afloat in your head and otherwise when every time you turn on anything media related at all,
That's why I don't listen to media.
it's just a straight up doom fest. And unless you turn on fantasy or turn on, you know, entertainment stuff, you know, it's just like, well, the world's going to shit.
World's been in the shitbag for a millennia. It's gonna keep being in the shitbag.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's why you've seen it. Everybody's questioned why I'm happy. Or why I can smile and be joyful even when I'm in the shitbag. It's because I can't let the shit hurt me. You saw me when I started to get depressed. What did I do? I tried to do more shit so that way I wouldn't be depressed.
When you got depressed, you got super bitter and tongue lashy. I was one of the people that you got tongue lashy with.
On some of your topics, yes.
And I was just like, well, he is in that mode.
But it wasn't depressed like other people get depressed. Like, oh my god, woe is me. Everybody say, poor me, poor me. I'm like, no, fuck you. Don't say poor me, poor me. Don't start that fucking goddamn trend.
Yeah.
I don't want that fucking pity. I don't want that bullshit. I don't want the negative emotions. I want the happy shit. Be happy I'm alive and I'm still kicking.
Yeah, it's just, you know, that's the thing, though, is on the flip side of things, what you can also do is you can also look at media, look at things that are out there on your phone or your tablet or your whatever devices, and you can also understand the fact that we also live in a world where you can connect to people all throughout the world.
Now,
and you can connect to people, you know, everywhere. Whether it's in other countries, whether it's across the state, you know, whatever, what have you.
Yep.
You can connect to people. You can connect to communities. You can watch things on the go. Like, there are so much out there that's in a positive light that we didn't have years ago. We didn't have a decade ago.
And see, that's also the funny part about growing up in the 80s
Not
and 90s.
to the extent we have now.
It became the extent it is now. It's like, yeah, well, we don't have not a clue what the... You think this is hard? This ain't shit. Let's take you back to the 80s. Let's take you back to the edge of the fucking millennium in the 90s. Like, y'all fuckers don't have a goddamn clue.
Yeah, no, and I find it weird and interesting that, you know, you'll have extremes. You'll have the negative extreme I was talking about with media and shitter, and then you have the positive extreme of like, hey, but I also have movies at the edge of my fingertips. I have music. I have things on the go. I could connect to my buddy in Sweden, like, now. Like, I could literally jump on Discord here in, you know, a second and just be like talking to Jonas if he's up. And years and years ago, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yeah.
Like, not having a smartphone, not having that stuff that everyone's, like, thumbing their nose up at, you know, with technology and stuff, and being like, things were so much better when, you know, were they? Because you couldn't talk to people. You couldn't connect with people in different communities.
But see, that's why I'm like, we need to go back to the 80s with the technology we have now. But at least with some of the mentalities and the way stuff was handled back then.
Yeah.
Because... one, we were tougher. We could actually take a fucking hit, and we didn't cry about it like a bunch of fucking, no offense, fairies. But the funny part about that is, fairies not considered a bad thing, but actual fae, fairy people, are
Yeah.
actually some of the hardest motherfuckers you'll ever meet. Oh my god. Meeting one will fucking change your life, and the first time I met one was kind of fun. On a camping trip, everybody was hearing shit and trying to be all spooky and shit. I'm like, you'll have no clue what's sitting right here in front of your eyes. Oh,
Yeah.
you idiots. And there was actual church members. But it was like Boy Scout shit through the church. And I'm like, you'll have to include where we are. The centeredness. The just pure beauty and energy of existence. That you're even alive. Just enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I found it interesting
Yes.
recently when I was listening to, I think it was before Hal ended up where he's at now. He was having dueling spars with people on Reddit, of all places.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
And
It's
I
like,
found it weird because I'm like, one, why the fuck are you fighting somebody on Reddit? And two, like, why are you wasting your energy trying to be a keyboard warrior? Because like a lot of times whenever I see people like try to lash things with me on like YouTube or other places, I literally do not take it seriously. I literally just go, okay, you're an idiot, because for one, you wouldn't say this to me in person, and two, like, you're literally wasting your time. Like, can we talk about something fun, like, you know, a movie
well,
or
that's like
something?
people
It's like,
coming
no, I
at
want to
me for some of the stuff
prove to
I
you that
say.
I'm superior in intellect. You already failed that one.
Right? Right? Well, that's why anybody wants to talk shit about me online, go for it. Guess what? I've heard worse in real life. So, bring
Yeah.
it, mother trucker.
I mean, I've also, you're talking about fragility and talking about generational fragility and things like that. And it's weird and interesting because of the fact that I was raised by Gen Xers, and because public school and high school back in
The 90s.
goddamn back
In
in
the
the
early
day.
2000s.
Yeah, no, 2000s for me, mid 2000s. You learn to take a hit, and you learn how to get back up and keep going. You learn, you learn what it's like to have your nose bloodied up and to make the other person look worse than you, and
Or be
to
able to
fight back.
take a hit and just walk away like, you're such an idiot.
Yeah,
Bye.
either way you slice it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And depending
Well, I'm
on,
just saying from my
because
point
you got to
of view.
pick your battles, but you also got to show that you're stronger than the other person. And the younger generation today, I don't know how they'd survive that.
They wouldn't. Oh, they'd be crushed so fast.
Because like I've seen some of them, and
It goes into the saying, strong men
yeah,
make an easy world. Easy world makes weak men. Weak men make a hard world. Hard world makes strong men.
yeah.
So it's all going to come full circle because
Yeah, I
they're
have a feeling
soft and
that's
can't
true.
handle it. Their kids are going to be so fucking hard because they have to be, because the world's literally going to pot in a handbasket right in front of their faces as children. That's the Gen Alpha. I've literally been seeing stuff with like babies and stuff where it's just like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't argue
and
with
I
that.
see that and I just laugh at it because I'm like, yeah, you're literally making the next Gen X, bitch. And I've literally listened to online, it's like Gen X squared. It's like, yeah, motherfuckers, bring it.
Yeah, no, it's funny and weird because it's like, I never thought that I would go through the shit that I've gone through just in the last 10 years alone and not crack. Like,
But that also proves how resilient you are.
Yeah, no, I was talking to your sister about it the other like this last week.
Oh, especially, yeah.
Yeah, I was like going, I told her I'm like I must be black or something, and she's like, why is that? I'm like, 'cause black don't crack.
Nice.
And not once did I crack this last week. Oh my god. Like I just kept going. I just kept going no matter what happened, and I just kept, it's kind of like when you're just trucking along and not showing much outward, like
being stoic on purpose.
yeah, so many people would have cracked with what I was dealing with. So many people would have cracked, and especially the newer generation, as you're talking about, like they would have gone on TikTok and talked all about it, the situation, and then
or
some
did something stupid.
or someone in the comment section would have mouthy with them because they've been like superior, and then like Then suddenly out of nowhere they'd make a reaction video to them and they'd be crying or something else would be happening. And me, I'd be like this, first time.
Right? Oh my.
Like, yeah, no, I was trying my hardest to be nice to your cousin, for instance, Katrina, because she popped up in our chat and was like going, "Woe is me," and it was something we've talked about millions of times.
Yeah.
On the fact that millennials are essentially having the same issues as Gen Xers. Like we're all like in the same bubble now, essentially.
Because of our age, yeah.
Yeah, because of how everything transpired. And Katrina is wanting to be somehow unique in her tragedy that she helped manufacture for herself as well. And I'm like, what you're describing to me is the sky is blue, and that this is something that we've all dealt with as millennials. It's like a generational thing that we inherited from the Gen Xers, which they inherited from the baby boomers. And she was like all mad and butthurt because I said she wasn't special. Like that's how she took it, was that I was telling her she's not special, and I'm like, so you're wanting to be special,
but you want to cry because the same shit that's happened to everybody else is now happening to you.
Right. I'm like, you're wanting to be special about something that's happening to all of us young people. Like we're all dealing with the same shit you're talking about.
Young and or old.
Yeah, and we're all dealing with this. We've all kind of been in the same spot. Like usually, you're wanting to be told that you're not alone. But for some reason, you're wanting to be told that you are alone and you're special for feeling the exact same
way everybody else should or would feel in that situation.
That thing that you're talking about, I'm like, that's my everyday. And you're like going, yeah, I want to be special. Why? I would rather not have that at all. But
oh, you want to be special? Okay, here's your jacket.
Yeah.
Let me strap it up. Click,
yeah.
Click, click.
Can
you move? No! Good, have a rubber broom, bitch.
I'm just like, well, I'll trade you.
And that's not even trying to be mean. It's literally, if you're going to cry about it, here's a rubber broom, here's your straight jacket, have fun.
Yeah, no, I was trying to be nice to her and stuff and not, like, devastate her by my peanut gallery commentary, because I was just like,
apparently you did, because you said you pissed her off, which means you did what I did to Cam.
Yeah.
So fucking bluntly honest.
Yeah, no, I read that.
I hate you.
With just like a few like
why
replies.
Why do you hate me? You said this because it's the truth. Where's the so why do you hate the truth?
Yeah, it was something to do with
her keep going into the same boat and doing the same shit over and
yeah, I'm trying to remember the exact thing it was, but it had something to do with being someone who... Oh, that's right, it was money. It was stress and money and feeling like she's a burden somehow because of the fact that somebody had to help take care of her and because she was in mild inconvenience for somebody else because they had to pay for her existence. And I was like, first time?
I agree with you fully.
Because literally, like, my dad, you know, whether he likes to admit it or not, gave us that issue years ago. Like, he acted like we were a problem or an inconvenience because we were still underneath his roof. And then, like, every time he'd help us out with anything or buy stuff or whatever. Now he's a bit nicer about it, but, like, for years he was, like, acting like it was this giant thing he did that he bought my kids something, and I'm like, you're a grandpa.
Right.
and like, just like the way he was communicating.
It kind of goes into the thing. Well, if you didn't want to be your parent, you should have fucking wore a rubber, kept your dick out of who you put your dick in. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, I swear we could say that to a lot of Gen Xer parents.
Oh, I could say that to about like 3 generations in both directions.
Yeah. For real.
If you don't like the outcome you got, then you should have kept your dick in your pants, motherfucker.
Yeah. And then stop going around parroting about how your dick is so great and how, you know, you're so fertile that you made so many children, because you want to be able to cheer about it and make yourself look good in front of other people and, you know, parrot that ego. But then, you know, when you have to actually take care of it and, you know, pay for them, that's a problem.
What everybody has an issue. I'm like, oh, I made 50 kids. Hey, look, I have $1 million. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it's like, hoorah, my dick's so great and I can do all these things with it. And it's like, responsibility, paper shit. Fuck!
Well, you know me. Oh, look, another child to raise. Oh, wait. I like doing that. Go fuck
Uh-huh.
off, pussies.
Yeah, no, it's for real. Like,
It's not even me trying to be mean. It's just like, why are you whining about it? If you didn't want the issue, why are you running around banging so many hoes and, or no offense, if you is a hoe, why are you running around fucking so many dicks? Like, no matter what side you're on, you're an asshole on both ends.
Hell, I was explaining to Aryan today, who's my 9-year-old, that you don't cry over spilled milk.
Right?
Because he was crying over the fact that he'd spilled some of the food from the stuff that Mama gave him, and I had to be like, "Hey, buddy, come here," and I gave him a hug, and he was like so thrown off by it apparently because uh, his grandfather is so mean to him that he doesn't expect affection anymore. And and I had to show him that I cared about him and stuff. And I was like, "Hey, Aaron, you know how you know the phrase 'don't cry over spilled milk'?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "So don't cry over spilled food. These are replaceable anyway." And he's like, "Okay." And he's like all shocked and shit. And I'm like, "Wow, this place is really messing him up too." And
well, it's not just the place; it's other shit also. But
yeah,
it has a big add-on to it.
yeah, no, I did like that whole thing. I read off a lot of stuff off of him that he probably didn't want to be read off of.
But I
But
didn't even know he was showing.
yeah, but like I was like, okay,
That's
I'm
like when
learning
he
a bunch
went
of
off
shit.
at me the other day. I'm starving. You're not starving. Just drink some water because you're gonna eat at school. You don't need to eat all the food at the house when you're gonna be fed here shortly anyways.
Yeah,
You'll be at school in less than an hour. Just drink some water. Because I had food. Your tiniest one had gotten up and chased two of the other kids, or followed them downstairs and was asking for my food. I changed her butt and I gave her some.
yeah,
It done. Wasn't hard, but he's flipping out. I'm like, dude, you're gonna get to go to school and get food. She isn't. That's why I'm giving her nibbles.
yep,
She's tiny. You're not as tiny. So just work with what you got.
yeah.
Don't make a big old bowl. Don't waste food because then you waste food at school and that's just as bad as wasting food here.
I do want to clarify something real quick. You mentioned taking care of the issue in regards to children. Uh, just to clarify, we don't see children as issues. We see them as people, little
Yes,
people that are growing.
but they have issues that we need to discuss with them to take care of. That's what I mean by taking care of the issue. The issue
Yeah.
isn't the kid. The issue is whatever their thought process is. Like with
Fair.
Cass, when he was having an issue with his thought process, I'm like, stop. You're going here. You're assuming, which makes you look like an ass. Slow down. Let's rework this.
Yeah.
And that's after she came in with the baby. As far as I'm concerned, my dog.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to throw punches, we can throw punches over it.
It's going to be way more interesting when how it does get out. And either she's a lot older, or she's not that much older, and you and him have to both figure that out.
There is no figure out. She calls me what she wants to call me.
Yeah.
And with the smile she's already given, and basically anytime he's brought up or he talks to mommy on the phone, she gets screamy, yelly, cuts off the call, or just gets, fuck you, shut up, I don't want to hear about this motherfucker anymore.
Well, it's probably because of the fact that the last week and a half he's been back and forth with extreme anger and negativity, and
It's not just
baby is
that.
rejecting it.
Baby is happier also because of how dirty that fucking thing was.
Yeah.
I'm not taking any off blame for other people being in there, but most of it was literally just him repeating the same pattern of just pile shit on top of shit.
Yeah.
That's where I'm irritated and pissed.
Yeah. Makes sense.
No more, no less.
Fair enough.
You know your bullshit. You've been told what your bullshit is. Everybody's complained at you or told you to quit crying about it, do something. And you literally just sat on a pile of shit and bitch and complained that you were sitting on a warm pile of shit. Like your warm pile of shit, but get the fuck off and move on.
Like, shit or get off the pot?
Yes. Like you like to say, because he's always stuck on the shitter because he never fucking goes anywhere.
And like I told Gostel the other day when I was like, you're either trying to take a shit or you can't get off the pot. And she just kind of looked at me, flipped me off, and said, "Stop knowing me."
I mean, that's what we do as the husband / male partner if we're doing our job right.
Yep.
Quit calling me out on my shit and stop doing your stupid shit.
Yeah.
Well, I do my stupid. I don't care what the reasons are. You know why you do this stuff. Can we
Yep.
not?
Yeah.
That's why I think the dynamic is like a million times better with the current girlfriend, partner, whatever title you want to put on the bullshit.
Girlfriend.
Future wife.
Yeah.
Everybody can eat my ass on that one if they want to get into arguments over it. But I mean, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
We each have our shit. But the funny part is, her being a Taurus, me being a Capricorn, you being a Virgo,
Mhm.
just, dude, we sit outside for like an hour or two and shoot the shit every night. It's so more calming and relaxing, I can tell, especially for you,
Yeah.
and especially for her. You two have needed it 10 times more than I have. Because I've been dealing with my fucking bullshit for so long, it's just like, yeah, whatever. I'm just like, yay, I have people that aren't going to yell at me or think my stupid shit's actually funny.
Oh, she is
Fuck it, I
completely.
enjoy the shit out of this.
She is completely blown away by like my commentary, our jokes, like.
She's been blown away also by our interactions with
Yeah.
her and with each other. She's like, I never see this with the other idiot here.
Yeah, no,
Because
she was bringing that up a couple times.
your and his dynamic is like way fucking different. Mine and your dynamic's like, yeah, it's alright.
Yeah, no, it's completely different, and it's weird because it's like he,
Does it to himself and then
as
bitches
I've
about
said,
it.
as I said before, he likes to court his own issues and tragedy. Remember I said that a while ago about your sister?
Yeah.
Like, it's the
And that's
same
why I
thing.
snickered and laughed and said, okay, you just gotta wait till she works it out.
Yeah, like
I've seen it 1,000 times, and so have you.
I asked him one time in the car. I said, "So how is the dates going with your girlfriend?" And he looked at me confused and went, "It should be fine. I mean, me and Martha." And I'm like, "No, that's not what I'm talking about." And he's like, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "Your girlfriend." And he's like, "Yeah, Martha." And I'm like, "No,
No.
mental health." And he's like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Yeah, no, you have been courting your tragedy and courting your misery for so long. You're more involved with your misery and your self-destruction than you are with your own human girlfriend."
But you see me, you're like, you're overly involved. I need some bro time.
Yeah.
I told her you said it. She's like, alright, fine, go to the gym. I told you I want you to keep your habits.
Yeah.
Because that's what I enjoyed about you. That's what attached me instantly to the situation. It's no more, no less. We just click and you like doing your gym stuff. You like doing this.
Yep.
The broadcasting stuff. I like playing games on Fridays. She's like, if you have to, I'll take care of the kid. Because you're like, that's part of your schedule. I don't want to mess with your schedule.
Yeah.
It's good that we get to hang out and have couple time and stuff, and the kids sleep. But clearly, you need more than one outlet.
Yeah.
And because she understood that, because she also needs that, it's great. Her biggest bitch about Hallett has been bitching and complaining until she can't go hang out with her fucking friends. I'm like, what are you in high school? Like the fuck, homie?
Well, fuck that. What are you,
I mean, that's
controlling?
like middle school and junior high bullshit too. It's like,
It's,
and like we've made jokes about, and
yeah.
if Howlett ever sees this, he's gonna cuss us out for it, and I don't give two shits. The sub pretending to be a dom, bitch. Don't make me bend you over and put my dick in your ass to show you who the real dom is, motherfucker.
Yeah, no, he.
That irritates the crap out of me.
Yeah, no, he was kind of always got that sub energy, and it's not a bad thing either, because
Well, no, but
subs
I mean,
are awesome.
know who and what you are.
Yeah.
Admit it. Not hide it like it's something to be ashamed of. Am I ashamed of anything of me? No. Have I done some shit I shouldn't have done? Yes. Do I feel sorry for it? No. Why? Because I know I'm evil to the core, and you know what? I gotta go through my bullshit to get to my happy.
Yeah, no,
I've been through enough bullshit. 2 ex-wives now.
Yeah, no, subs are
So,
a good sub should I phrase it, is an awesome sub.
Right.
Because you've got some subs out there that are extremely insecure, extremely bitchy about shit.
Or try to be the dom.
Yeah, and they try
it's
to be the
annoying
dom,
as fuck.
and they're just obnoxious to be around.
And they call themselves brats. No, you're just being a bitch sub. Don't make me... Dude, I'll just cut ties and bounce, motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's the issue I had with fucking dumb bitch's wife.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to play brat, I'm like, do I really? I'll play. We'll see how the fuck... And then I'm like, alright, I'm done. You're being a stupid bitch.
Yeah, and it was hard to deal with and be around.
It wasn't hard to deal with. I can deal with it. It's just got annoying because it's like, yeah, I've already dealt with one of those. Clearly, that didn't go too well, so fuck off. Leave me alone.
Pretty much.
That's kind of where I was at when her stupid bitch said, stop doing that. Oh, because it makes you feel so secure because I can get your wife off. Cry at me, ho. I mean, I kind of feel like I might have to do the same situation with her idiot who won't sign paperwork, but
yeah.
I already told her I'm going to be straightforward. Southern as fuck. Here's the line, motherfucker. We're going to cross it or we're going to shake hands and go our own fucking ways.
Yeah, because it's like midway through May, so at least I think it is.
Yeah. The 16th through the 19th.
So you can have fun with trying to get her ex to sign paperwork that would legally separate her from him.
Oh, I'm going to do more than that. He's going to sign more paperwork than that motherfucker knows what to do with, because it's going to be paperwork for like 5 or 6 things.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure he signs that shit. And if he doesn't, he's going to know that I will find, because I know there are loopholes in the laws and workarounds.
Yeah.
Oh, I will find a loophole and a workaround. He has no clue what's coming for him. Not in a bad way, just let's be kosher, let's be cooperative, let's be nice to each other, unless you would like to die by your own bullshit.
Yeah.
Because I don't play around. You don't play. We be honest with each other at all times and step over the line and see what the fuck happens.
Yeah.
You've seen me do that. I've even done that shit at the gym. It's like, shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. Conversation over. If
Yeah,
you keep
I
talking
remember
about
that
it,
with one dude in the pool a couple times.
yeah, if you keep talking about it or keep crossing the line, dude, you just, I'm gonna ignore you like you a fucking piece of shit. Or a fly on the wall.
Yeah.
He didn't like that, and then I ignored his ass. And he got more pissed. And I just left the hot tub after being in the pool with you for an hour, and I know he told you, and I'm just like, yeah, this will be a funny commentary that I get told on the way home. And he didn't tell me about it. I'm like, thought so, pussy.
Yeah.
Not even in a bad way, just
like
the way he, yeah, it's like, grow up here, grow up. That's kind of why I like the whole, the thing I liked about Blue Beetle is the kid didn't know what the hell,
Yes,
where the hell.
podcast subject to the show.
Supposed to be.
Yeah.
But we went off on a tangent for an hour and a half.
Yep.
Like we do.
Yep, pretty much.
But it's nice to talk about this stuff somewhere we're not going to get looked at dirty, or can we stop talking about this?
Yeah.
Because this is like our time to, alright, let's just air out all the bullshit and fuck it.
Yeah. There's just some bullshit I can't air out yet.
Well, I mean to air it out, fuck it. What are they going to do, fucking arrest us?
Maybe.
Well, I got my 20 in the car. We good, homie? Plus I got like fucking 100 bullets. Maybe 150. I haven't counted it here recently.
Yeah.
I got plenty of bullets. We covered, motherfucker. I got some in the car. I got some in a few of my bags and my pockets. I'm good. I need ammo. I got ammo, motherfucker. I'm ready for the shit to hit the fan. I've been ready ever since I came back.
Yeah.
And then somebody stupid, we won't mention who, but we probably know who, took one of my clips and my bullets out of my gun. I'm like, you stupid bitch, I have more than one.
Was it a certain female?
Mm-mm.
Certain male?
I think it was dumbass downstairs.
Yeah.
Because I had mentioned if he doesn't fucking fix his shit, I'll just go get my gun out of the car. We'll take care of this shit right now.
And he decided to steal the clip?
Still the clip and still the bullet in the chamber. I think. And if it wasn't him, then crazy bitch X lied and still has the key to my car.
Yeah.
If I ever see her get in my car, I'll literally call the cops and have her arrested because the divorce paperwork says it's mine, bitch. Go fuck
Yeah.
yourself. Well, my name's still on the house, so how about you move out of my fucking house?
Right.
We're gonna play this game. I'll play full fucking cards.
Yeah.
I'll see you in court, bitch. Cause I already told you, if it went that far, I'm taking everything, including the kids, and she can burn in hell, and I'll light her on fire and send her down the damn pit.
Yeah, I mean, you've only got like what, 1 or 2 years left of
One and a half. Well,
before
by the
Ren
end
can
of the
get.
year, I think I should be almost done, or basically done paying off the car.
Yeah, and
So I'm literally, I
Ren
gotta
can
change
sign.
the address to this address, so that way they send the title here, and then I just go down to the title place in Ogden
And Ren
take
can
the
get
name off the
emancipated.
fucking. Go down to the license bureau and like take the other person's name off the title of my car.
Yeah.
Here's the paperwork. The car's paid off. Or fuck you. I just want this name off my car.
Yeah.
And then they'll do it. Because I've done it with adding somebody's name to my car. It's just as easy to take their name off. Especially because 90% of the titles say and or. You want to see my dick, or are you gonna do what I ask? But anywho, back to Blue Beetle. Before we go off on some other stupid tangent.
I liked the movie itself for what it was, because it was like the thing that made Blue Beetle work for me was the family. It was this. It was the main character's family.
Yeah.
Because you take what is a very Iron Man-esque design for a suit, adding in the Spider-Man isms to him when it comes to like
Spider-Man, Deadpool shit, yeah.
Yeah, like you got like the little nuances between Spider-Man, Iron Man, Deadpool, and a few other characters, and you also have the pop culture references, and you got the the humor, especially with George Lopez as the uncle.
Oh, that was the best part.
Only my
for
friends
me.
calling me Rudy, and you got not the taco, and you got like all these different little things that are in that movie. Like it was an adorable flick. And
it was an enjoyable watch.
Yeah, and it ends like an '80s movie, with the girl getting kissed and then him taking flight with her and stuff like that.
Like with Superman and Lois Lane from back in the '80s.
Essentially, yeah. And so, I personally, I saw it twice. Saw once with me and Amber, and then I saw it again with you guys.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, we might as well watch it for the podcast. You already watched it once. I just want to watch it.
And the second time, I enjoyed it even more.
Yeah, we were
My
talking
mind,
about when we went to get drinks that night.
Yeah, I was like mentally taking apart different key aspects of scenes and stuff.
Going into your analytics.
Yeah, and one of the things that I found about the film that were a little jarring were that some of the scenes with the transitions and things like that, stuff that if you're someone who watches it analytically, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you're an average moviegoer who just wants to watch it for a fun time, you will have a blast
Not
with
a goddamn
it.
clue.
You'll have a blast with it while knowing a thing I'm talking about because, you're not a if you're not someone who's into film.
You're not a movie head.
Yeah, not a movie head, not into film theory, that sort of thing. You won't know what I'm talking about. But if you do know what I'm talking about, you'll be like, oh shit, yeah, you're probably right. Some of the transitions and some of the flow on some of the scenes, especially depending on which scene you were in, whether it was family scene, whether it was, more
dealing with the bad
guy scene and chase scene, things like that. There's different scenes in there that were super jarring in some places, and like the tone of itself shifted too much. But in all reality, it was fine. But at the same time, I noticed that in the second watch. Like, thought I would notice, but I did. And there was a part of the end with the bad guy, Carapax, that I wish they explored his origin sooner. At least for the audience. You don't have to tell
I understood why they did it.
The hero.
They did it.
You don't have to tell the hero the story or the backstory. But as the audience, I would have liked to know more about him before the end of the movie.
That way I completely understand.
It came out of left field. I was like, oh, now you're going to go into who this person is?
I think it's more of, or at least the way my brain processed it, the only reason they brought it in at that point is because he'd been through so much.
Yeah. No, I
understand
why
they did it. Especially with the surgeries and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's like doing a brain wipe. Like they tried to do with Wolverine.
I feel like if they had gone into it sooner and you would have known more about him near the beginning of the movie, and especially they're on those little key elements where she's talking to him privately, and then like the times where the camera's on his face and his body, and you clearly see that something's going on there. You don't know what it is, and you see the interactions with her and him, and you know,
maybe have a quick flashback.
yeah, and then like the foreshadowing. It would have been nice to know more about him and know more about his tragedy, because then I feel like at the end when he gets his upgrade, and then when he goes, you know, when he's fighting our main hero, their dialogue exchanges would have been like a perfect mirror, and it would have hit better.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like it would have hit
think
better.
they're
You would have
gonna
had polar
dive
opposites.
into that more in the second film. I think they did it that way, so that way it gives them something to go into for the second film.
Yeah, like I feel like with that character, because you had
biggest-
one character saying that family makes you weak, and then you had another character saying the opposite. And with that being said, when we're going into the movie structure and we're going into the storyline itself, without knowing the context of Carapax's backstory and how tragic it is,
Who he is, yeah.
some of those moments in the beginning and the middle don't hit the same unless you know what's going on.
I agree with you.
And I wish that they had hit better. I wish that they had done more with that. And I'm like, okay, I guess you're going to give us this giant montage thing about how when he was a kid, his family was bombed, and you know she jerked him away from his family, and then she basically
turned him into a stormtrooper.
Yeah, took his trauma and turned it into a memory block because of the fact that she was turning him into a soldier. And it would have been nice to know this beforehand, before you did the memory montage, but whatever. You know, it would have made his story more resonant to me anyway.
I understand. Yeah, no, I understand that from your point of view, but I also understood why they did it the way they did it. I think it would have helped the story a little bit to like show his origin at the beginning, and then you have to figure out or wonder, or maybe they could show part of it as like a quick flashback.
Yeah.
On why he doesn't remember it.
I would have liked something like that. Like
Yeah.
a bit of both. Like have like a. I just wanted to know him more.
A quick little intro epilogue story.
Yeah.
Like it was a book to give you a little bit of cluence for one character, and then we go into the Blue Beetle story where we gets the Blue Beetle, but then you also dive into why is he her bodyguard if her weapons killed his mom and his whole freaking village. Okay, you roll back. Flashback.
Like come on, like dial it back a little bit.
Literally
Let's
being
find out more about
reprogrammed and like military training as a child, basically a kidnapped child being trained to be a soldier and forget your family, forget your past. It's not important. The important is the future and da da da.
Yeah, because when we went to go get drinks after that, we watched that movie again. Like after I watched it again, you watched it the first time. I literally told you in the car, I'm like, I wonder if they're gonna bring him back in the sequel, and if they're going to essentially have just a different version of him that's a bit more open, because now we know his origin and stuff. And even though
said 50-50.
and even though like technically they imply that he gets killed or that he dies, like it's not an on-screen death, so it's not certain that he's dead or anything.
The only on-screen is a guarantee is the lady, because it was in the suit, and because of the way the suit is like the Blue Beetle, where it's the nanobites that literally cover you. Even though Blue Beetle just ripped off his helmet and was about to kill him.
Yeah.
My thought was, what if the way the nanobites work, because he walked into fire because he knew he wasn't going to die. Because he'd become so connected with the nanobots, he literally was programming himself.
And it's funny is,
and because of the nanobites, that's the only reason he got his memory back at the last second right before death, because you get, it's the old saying, flash of your entire life before you die.
And to add to your point though, Blue Beetle, this is like something I noticed especially on the second watch, is that Blue Beetle, the character, like the armor, the alien technology
the Beetle itself,
that he was wearing, for the first half of the movie, they reinforced to you like 2 or 3 times that the Beetle will not let its host die easily. Like literally will cover him.
It's part of the program.
Yeah, will cover him or otherwise try to use any lethal force necessary towards threats to neutralize threats because they're trying to protect the host. Which I absolutely loved the almost Venom dynamic between those two. It was like taking
saying no, we're not gonna kill him, but it's the only way to protect you.
Right.
I'm not a killer.
Yeah.
And then at the end when he tries to kill the guy, remember you said we're not a killer.
Yeah, that's one of
that whole point. Oh
that,
yeah.
I remember that, like the family dynamic and then the dynamic between him and the alien were so
Which
amazing.
I can't remember its name, but
yeah. Like it was so amazing having those dynamics in the movie. I absolutely loved the fact that we're seeing another version of alien technology in the DC universe. Because in my head I was like going,
my only
Kryptonian.
bitch about the movie
Yeah.
is he's 22. And
Yeah,
the
you wanted him to be
original
in high school still.
comic book and with the Teen Titans adaptation, he was like 17, 18. He wasn't out of high school yet when he got the Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
When it chose him to be a hero. But then when you go into like, what is it? Not Teen Titans, it's the other one, Young Justice. They kind of go into the dynamic with the Red Beetle and the Black Beetle that they're actually supposed to go to planets and literally wipe out the entire population so that way they can sell the planet. And that's like, oh, so you're selling the Saiyan Saga DBZ shit for the Beatles. You bunch of pricks.
Yeah, no, one other thing that, so in the TV show, because you mentioned how you knew the Blue Beetle from the TV show or from
like 2 or 3, yeah.
So in that show, did it ever imply that there was a company like the one that's in the movie that happens to be apparently connected to the government?
That didn't pop in on the Blue Beetle series. From what I remember from watching, I mean, it's been a few years. I don't think that popped in.
But my point is, my question I'm asking
the third
is,
season. It did pop in.
The question I'm asking though is, since this technology is alien, right?
Supposedly, like origin alien.
Like it made me think of Venom symbiotes. And
yeah, I get that.
Like, with that being said, did that company or that organization in the original show have the ability to subdue the technology? Because that bothered me so bad.
Yeah, them connecting something because they figured out how to.
You like
turn off the signal.
It tases him and shit, and he's like laying on the ground and immobile, and I'm like going, isn't that an alien thing? Isn't that an alien thing? Venom would just eat them.
No, I completely agree with you. That was like when they like incapacitated
him.
I'm like,
when they turned it off or whatever.
Bitch?
And I'm like, isn't that alien? Like, how do you have the ability to do that? Like, this is bullshit. That took me out of the movie completely.
No. That right there, my first thought. I call bullshit, motherfuckers.
Yeah, like that. I did not like that part of the movie at all. It's not even the fact that they.
I understand how they fit into the story, but it's like, hello, giant red flag. I call bullshit.
Yeah, like it's not the fact that they subdued the alien, right? Not the fact they subdued the technology. It's not like I'm going, oh no, you shouldn't be able to subdue the alien. I couldn't buy
the way they portrayed it was.
I could not buy the way they did it. Like I logically, especially on the second watch,
right.
I literally looked up at the TV, saw what part it was on. He looked at me and smirked because I instantly went, "This is bullshit," and went on my phone and waited for the part to end because I was just like, I can't buy this.
As soon as you said it's bullshit, I went, all right, he already knows.
I was like, I can't do this.
This is complete crap.
Yeah, because it's kind of like watching that part in Spider-Man 3 when the symbiote is talking to Eddie Brock and he's like, "You want to catch a spider? I want to catch a spider. Interested?" And I'm like, "That's not Venom!"
Right.
And so it's just like
That's
couldn't
not the true
buy
Venom.
that. I couldn't buy that in the movie. Like I was just like going, dude, this is worse than the second watch. Watching this.
It's worse than the fucking goddamn cartoon. The cartoon did it better. In the 90s.
I bet they did. And so it's just like after introducing the fact that it's an alien, after introducing the fact that it's an alien technology, and after having Kryptonians in this world, the DC, and then
Batman and all the other shit.
And then recently being able to watch the Venom series with like the symbiotes and shit, and then like being told now we're gonna make you buy the fact that this company is able to subdue this alien technology that is super powerful, but they still haven't even gotten the coding properly. That was
so that
the
way they can
yeah. They
duplicate
literally
it. Yeah.
kidnap his ass so they could torture him and get the coating out of the suit. So you don't even have the coating right, yet you're able to do the alien. This is bullshit.
Right? If you don't even know the coding enough to be able to program your own technology to do that, that's like, hello? Can I call bullshit? Where's the
Yeah.
bullshit flag?
Yeah, like why is the third act of this movie predicated on a kidnapping, followed by a torturing, followed by a downloading of software or coding or whatever the hell you were trying to get out of that suit or that alien, and yet, uh, in order to kidnap in the first place, you had to electroshock it or you had to subdue it somehow, and I'm like, I can't buy this. Like this is a shitty transition to a third act.
Or it'd made more sense if the Beetle told him, hey, this is our weakness, be careful of these things.
Yeah.
And then they used that thing.
Yeah, it would have made more sense if they, went into that a bit more. Like if there had been like some sort of setup at the beginning of like, hey, don't use this or don't use that or watch out for this or watch out for that when it comes to weaknesses or things like that. What are you looking at?
YouTube chat.
Oh. Hi, Jonas.
Yeah.
It's all about family, Vin Diesel. I'll be honest, I don't think I remember anything from the Blue Beetle movie except for a villain that is basically evil Blue Beetle and me sending a message to TPAW that I found it painfully average.
But see, it's not evil Blue Beetle. The evil Blue Beetle is actually supposed to be a red beetle, so they tried to play on that because they went into that into the Young Justice series.
Wow, I'm so used to watching TikTok chat that I have not paid attention to YouTube chat because almost nothing happens there. I apologize, buddy.
Well, I just saw it pop up.
Yeah, so that means
because I was looking
there.
at you and I looked over and saw it. So
yeah, yeah.
so
No, we're talking about Blue Beetle and how on one hand really enjoyed the movie and I watched it twice, and on the other hand, I was
the fucking holes
I'm pointing at
obvious.
I'm pointing at all the holes that I saw in the movie.
Oh
that,
yeah,
are
most
poignantly
definitely
there. The wife loved it. Like she was like all over the moon. And the reason why is because she loves the culture that was in the movie. She loves the family. She loves their culture, and she happens to live in Kanto. And she kept comparing to
love
Kanto.
George Lopez's jokes, and whenever he's cast in a movie, so I'm like, we got George. Okay, this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, no, I was watching it, and George Lopez was ironically one of the best parts of the movie.
Right, the crazy uncle who's really good with technology. And then you said, or Judy made a comment in the background while going to bed. Yeah, just like in Spy Kids.
Yeah, no, I kept comparing the. Her and I were both comparing the third act of the movie.
Yeah, I heard
Spy
you
Kids.
guys say it before we started watching the movie. When she went upstairs, I'm like, well, no shit. That's what he's gonna play because
were so
that's
many
fucking
Spy
obvious.
Kids references in this movie. Even the way the Nana was holding the gun when they like show the frame of her holding the gun, and she's like it's like a wide scale shot, and they're like, Nana, why are you holding that gun so well? And like she's just looking at her, I'm like, badass. And I'm like watching someone going, yeah, this is a Spy Kids moment. All the shit is Spy Kids.
Well, you knew he had something to do with the way they directed and ran the film. Because he's like, all right, we got to add in these little pieces for the people who know Spy Kids because he's a kid, but he's my nephew, just like with the Spy Kids thing. So we're gonna throw these in.
Oh yeah, no, Lopez's language was definitely. He definitely had a hand in how it was written and how it was done.
Fuck yeah, he had to have that stuff in there. And nobody bitch.
Yeah.
Or they bitch, and he said, motherfucker, I'm running this thing. I got the most money sitting here, and I'm the biggest actor. Shut the fuck up, do what you're told.
Well, I don't know
but
if he
he's not that guy.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, he could do that because of how big and how, like, his career
no,
he could do that
I
without
got
even
straight up Batcave vibes from this whole movie. Hey, I'm glad that you guys had a blast with it. My general rule is that I want people to enjoy stuff. Me too.
Right? Same.
I want that too. Like,
that's the thing. We always talk about our different dynamics where he sees the filmy side of it, and I see the just as what it was enjoyable or not enjoyable as just if somebody who likes to watch movies sort of stuff.
Yeah, like he's got the more average moviegoer, and me, I'm film theory and thumb on my ass. Like I sound like I'm holding a glass of wine with my pinky up half the time whenever I'm talking movie theory, because that's how I
Well,
sound.
when we dive deep into it, like with the Blue Beetle, just like we did with some of the comic book stuff, like Wolverine and
Yeah.
whatnot, I'm just like, oh no, here's the bullshit parts, and I just dive into the mythos. Because
Yeah,
if it has
no,
anything to do with
I
comic books,
can't
I go
wait until Deadpool and Wolverine
deep.
comes out.
Oh, the 26th of July. We're gonna have to talk to Mom, make that a double date. We're just gonna go
Yeah,
fucking sit on our
we'll
asses
be like,
and go.
sorry, Mary, you're gonna have to watch the kids for the next couple hours. Wait, why? Because we're gonna go see Deadpool and Wolverine.
We're going on a double date. Why? Because it's cheaper.
And then Russell goes, it's like, no, you're gonna suck it up this time.
I said we're going on a double date. You can sit down, be nice to the kids, or when I come back, there will no longer be a you. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. Oh, start shit, motherfucker. I'll just go grab it. You want to play?
Yeah,
Let's be stupid.
I remember when the first Deadpool came out in 2016. Her and I got really cuddly on those chairs watching Deadpool.
Oh, like the beginning. This is the family movie. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be priceless.
Yeah, no,
I just sat back and went, I'm gonna enjoy.
And then he gets in the
this.
machine and he goes, and this is the horror movie. And I'm just like watching all the different tones as he's, poking fun at all the different tones that are in the movie.
You literally seen the Deadpool schizo with the. It's a family movie, but it's also a horror film and a serial
action
killer movie
and a superhero movie
and this and that. Oh yeah, no, that was all the
superhero
landing. Oh, that looked like that hurt.
Yep. Oh yeah, right in the knees. Francis. See, what's funnier is I used Ajax soap to clean the kitchen floor, so I found Francis.
Yeah, when you said there's Ajax in there, I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm just stepping on a Deadpool villain. We're good. I don't know if you heard that when I went to piss earlier after you said Ajax was on the floor.
Yeah, no, I really held it up and I was like, hey, Amber. And she's like, what? I'm like, I found Francis. And she saw that bottle and she's like, of course.
I mean, yes, because it's funny commentary and of course.
Yeah, like it was such a heavy deadpan face palm, and she went like that, and I'm just like going, "Shut up, you know you loved it." Me and my brother saw the first Deadpool movie at the cinema, and after it was done, both of us looked at each other and wanted to watch it again.
Right?
Me too.
Right?
Like if we had time and money back then, like her and I would have just watched it.
If I had time and money,
day.
I'd be like, the next 2 showings in this theater.
Yeah.
What? I'm not moving. I'm only coming out in between showings for more popcorn, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, most definitely. I used to do that at the Dollar Theater in Oklahoma, because I'd go in, and if it was a movie I wanted to watch, 5, 7, and 9. Okay, here's $3. I'm paying for all 3.
He just turned that guy into a fucking kebab.
Yes. Or, shit, I'm running out of bullets. Alright, we're going to have to do a couple doubles.
It's like, I only have 12 bullets, so you're all going to have to share.
Yep.
So Deadpool's laying down. Someone's not counting.
Oh no, I like the very first part when he's in the car.
Dad?
No, the very beginning when he drops into the first vehicle.
Yeah.
Hey, wait! Da 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 da. That guy has the right idea. Brown pants.
Yeah, no, it's
talking about him having a red suit.
You must be wondering why the red suit. It's so bad, guys can't see me bleed. He has got a right idea. He wore the brown pants.
Yep, that line. I'm sorry, that was the best line that he could have started the movie out with. As soon as I heard that, I'm just like, okay, no, I'm just sitting back and enjoying the fuck out of this.
Yeah.
He did it right. He's like, yeah, fuck y'all idiots.
Yep.
And I like in the second movie where he used cables to go backwards in time to kill the other Deadpool that was a shitbag in X-Men Origins, Wolverine.
Yep.
I was just like, yes, please, thank you.
I have to say, though, I laughed non-stop during that Wolverine Deadpool trailer.
Oh, the most recent one?
Yes.
The one I sent you? Because I literally woke up, saw it,
Well, it's funny
I
because
sent it to you, then I looked. Oh, it's only been out for an hour. He's gonna be pissed I saw it first. Oh well, fuck it.
I went to go send it to this guy, the Sweden guy, Jonas.
After
in
I sent
Discord.
it to you?
Yeah, no, I went to go send it to him, and as soon as I got into the PM chat and I was gonna go send it to him because I copied the link, I pasted it, didn't realize. I looked up for 5 seconds. This motherfucker already sent me it, and so I sent him it on accident. So we're all sending each other the Deadpool Wolverine trailer.
Nice! Fuck yeah! Well, because the first thing I do is I check my Insta.
Yeah.
And I got Ryan Reynolds on my Insta. Oh, new trailer. Okay, click. Yeah, load up the internet. Go actually into the app. Send it to Peter. Okay, watch.
Yeah.
It done. Conversation over. That's the only place my brain goes.
Yeah, there's so many people that I've seen on the internet in the last week alone that
bitching
have said
or saying yay.
That are saying that this is the first time they've ever actually been like looking forward to going to the cinema in July.
Oh fuck yeah!
And like
Most
see Wolverine
definitely.
and Deadpool going at it in the.
Oh, I gotta make sure she's seen the first two.
The
She hasn't.
Cops.
We're gonna have a movie now.
Yeah, no, they a lot of people are talking about how this movie is going to probably end up revitalize their love for Marvel.
Oh yeah.
And the MCU because they've just been so.
The way Ryan Reynolds has got his balls on it, it's like I paid for the first one. We're doing this my way.
Yeah, no, he literally had a giant like fisticuffs on the Fox executives when they when they did the first
now
one.
Now that Disney owns it, he's like, y'all really want to fuck with $1 billion movie? Or y'all just gonna shut up and let me do my shit?
Yeah, from what I understand, Feige and Ryan were going back and forth nonstop on this movie and going over all the finer details of what, yay this, knows that, blah blah blah. Which is why there's that joke at the end where she's like, you want to do some cocaine? It's like, Feige told me the only thing that was off limits was cocaine. I'd love to, but I can't. And it's like that, going over the different slang terms. It's like, they know all the slang terms. They have a list. You want to build a snowman? Yes, but I can't.
No, I love the fuck out of that. I'm just sitting there going, this is great.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
I was dying. I was cackling like a maniac.
Oh, fuck yeah. It was just like, this is just enjoyable shit. Trailer was perfect. Showed us the comedy and tone while still not revealing that much about the story.
Which is ironic because Robert Meyer Burnett's biggest complaint was that it didn't reveal shit about the story.
but that's why you go see it in theaters, motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I personally love the trailer, but it's funny because Rob was going on about how he said, we already know that Deadpool and Wolverine are in it. We already know there's a multiverse thing. We already know all these other things.
Made me laugh out loud while yeah, right?
Yeah, no, it was. I rewatched that trailer like 6 times that day.
I've watched it like 2 or 3 times. I'm just like, yeah, no, this shit isn't less funny the more I watch it. It's more funny. It's like, especially the like, oh, look, 50-year-old drunken Wolverine claws.
Yeah, where he looks down and sees the claws barely trying to come out. He's like, oh, frozen claws. Very common in Wolverines over 40.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That was like, you got drunk dick, but with your claws.
Yeah.
Priceless.
Yeah, no, I was fucking just dying with this movie, with the trailer alone. And it's funny is...
just wait till after the movie.
Live age restricted.
Because we're talking about Deadpool. Hand it here.
Ha ha, funny.
Bunch of pricks.
Hanky.
You want me to submit Fitbit? Alright, suck my white dick.
Hanky panky. I'm touching myself tonight. A snowman joke made me laugh out loud while I was on the train. I was just cackling like a maniac when I saw that.
There you go. Deal with it.
We still haven't been able to watch it in the living room yet.
Which one?
The Deadpool trailer, the new one. Oh, by the way, apparently the bald
We're
lady,
talking about Deadpool, so.
the bald lady that's in that movie,
Uh-huh.
is apparently not the ancient one.
Oh, no, I already knew that.
I was confused. I was like, the ancient one's in this. Apparently, it's Charles
No,
Xavier's twin sister,
Yeah. You didn't know that?
Cassandra Nova.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that.
Oh, no, I knew it because of the way she was messing with him. I'm like,
Yeah.
that character.
Well, I watched her. I watched the ancient one. You know, giving Doctor Strange a lot of shit in the first one. So how do I know that it's not the ancient one? Could have been a multiverse like trickster ancient one that was being a
Well,
dick.
no, I get that, but I mean, when I saw it, my first thought was, oh, I know that character. Can't remember her name, but I knew who she is.
Literally, over half the time at this point, whenever I see any of this movie stuff, especially
You always
in,
have to double
in the
check
Marvel
because you want to
Cinematic
make sure
Universe,
who the hell it is.
yeah, no, I also have it in my head that people are not keeping track of the fact that this Wolverine could be any Wolverine in the MCU. It could be any Wolverine.
It's the one from the Uncanny Universe, which is whatever, blah, 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 because
Well, people are arguing over which Wolverine it is, and I'm like, they're like, oh, they're gonna mess up the ending of the Logan, and I'm like, no, they're not. They could
that's
easily
a
have
different
taken.
freaking universe,
It could easily
homie.
be a Logan that is in a similar timeline where there is what happened in Logan, but more comic accurate to the comic, and
Blocking the camera.
could be a completely different type of Wolverine while in the same vein.
Well, my thought is it's the.
That's why he's even wearing the yellow suit.
Well, no, the yellow suit is in, I think it's 3 or 4 universes. But my big issue is more that messes up. I'm like, no, that's in like not the regular proper MCU or Marvel mutants timeline,
Yeah.
because it's the clone daughter, and that's only in like 1 or 2 of the animated series or some such. Xavier, what?
Xavier has many siblings that just appears from nowhere, lol. Like how he had a
Right.
twin that was never mentioned, which he transferred his consciousness into. That was a Brian.
Yeah.
I think that was a
Yeah.
Bryan Singer thing, though. Too was Bryan Singer was adapting one of the comic runs when he did that storyline, as a way to like not necessarily cheat, but like be able to kill off Xavier without killing him and using
Well,
the body as like a scapegoat.
my thought on it was Magneto fully coming to his full potential and being able to reassemble Charles.
Yeah.
Because if you're actually a, you know, being able to control magnetism, you should be able to control the magnetism in between atoms, and you can reassemble and disassemble anything.
Yeah, makes sense.
At fucking thought.
Yeah.
But he never became 100% aware of his powers. But the death of Charles threw him into such a mental threshold that it pushed his powers and him to the realization of what he could actually do with his powers.
Yeah.
Because he realized he was literally Jean's, as Phoenix, bitch.
Yeah. I'm gonna call it right now, though, that Logan himself is not the same Logan from the X-Men verse.
Well, that's why I think it's from like the Uncanny comic books.
I'm gonna call it right now that he's a different
in the
Wolverine.
Uncanny, he loses and gets back to adamantium and never has the heavy metal poisoning. That's why it's the Uncanny universe.
Yeah, I'm gonna call it right now that it's a different Wolverine because.
And if it's not the Uncanny, it's the next one over.
Well,
which is just,
I don't know if you noticed, but he's also talking like an Australian.
Yeah.
Like Hugh Jackman's an Australian.
Yeah, he's talking in his natural
yeah,
tone.
and there was a scene in there in the diner scene where he literally says a line, and I was like, oh, your accent just came out, your natural accent. This is a different Wolverine. Even the way he's holding himself, even the way he's communicating, he's got that whole snideness when Wade Wilson puts the gun to his head and he smiles, he's leaning into the gun. Like the whole language and the acting and everything is completely different.
Yeah.
It's Wolverine without it being the same Wolverine.
Well, I mean, because in the Uncanny, especially when they did the 90s, like, comic, the one that's on Disney Plus now.
Yeah.
Because what they went through with the X-Men with that one is him in Japan, him in Australia, him in each country. That's why he doesn't actually have an accent. He just adapts to wherever he lives.
Yeah, and so
He
in that
naturally just
particular
picks
time of
up
his
the
life is
yeah,
what dialect he was slipping into.
yeah.
I'm gonna say right now that it's a different
He says
Wolverine.
it
I hope he's from a different universe just so they can do whatever they want with the character without being restricted. That's what they're doing.
and I think
That's
is
really
what
what they're doing.
That's why Deadpool said, "Oh, you have the plus 40."
Yeah, I don't think
claws
any of the people in any of the internet communities are even paying attention to
to that shit.
Yeah, they're not paying attention at all to what's in the trailer. They
Because
watch the
it's, like,
trailer,
obvious
they're
as
seeing
hell.
Deadpool and Wolverine, and then they're fighting over whether or not it's gonna fuck with Logan. And I'm like, no, it's not, because it's not even the same
I'm like,
Wolverine.
have you paid attention to the wording and the
Yeah,
actual
there's
script?
there's
Scripted
not only is
stuff
there
they're saying.
specific phrasings and intonations that are peppered everywhere in the trailer.
Right.
There is ways that Hugh Jackman himself is expressing himself as Wolverine in the trailer. There's also the yellow suit. There's also the Ant-Man in the Void that is straight from the Logan comic book, Old Man Logan, that is similar to what is in the original storyline, while it not being the exact same Wolverine, because his hair is not even gray on the sides. His hair is different. It's similar to the Uncanny X-Men that you were talking about, like the way his design is, and the way
it's slightly
talking.
different. It's that thing. It's uncanny, but it's not exactly uncanny because it's over one dimension or half dimension bullshit.
Yeah, like this Wolverine feels like he came from the '90s cartoon.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying.
Like it's.
I'm gonna enjoy the shit out of this because it's the '90s cartoon Wolverine with the true Deadpool adaptation.
And not to mention the fact that even said this is a Wolverine that failed his world. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, so it's a different Wolverine. Because if you pay attention to the overall story, he didn't fail the world that he was in the Foxverse.
No.
He killed Jean Grey, and then was haunted by visions of her in the Wolverine movie. And then he defeated the silver person with the blade, the samurai guy.
Yep.
And then he went to the future with Days of Futures Past, and then changed the future again with the Sentinels, so he succeeded there. In just about every one of the Foxverse movies, Wolverine helps them win.
Yeah.
And so there's no way he failed anything. It's a different version. A theory I have seen going around is that the scene when they jump into the portal will be them transferred to the canon MCU universe. The portal looks like Doctor Strange portals. I don't know if I believe it or not. I don't know about that one.
I don't know about Doctor Strange
portal. I feel like that's going to be them meeting up with the samurai version of Ryan Reynolds' character, because they're going to be different cameos that are in the movie. I feel like that part of the movie, I feel like is going to be the road version of the movie, where they're bouncing from place to place to place before they get to the meat of the second act.
They need,
so they can get to the third act and whatever it is they're doing.
And save the world. Like
that trailer has got to be the first 20 minutes of the movie, like bits and pieces of the first 20 minutes, and that's it.
Like, I say 30, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel like that trailer is it's a Frankenstein version of the first 20 minutes of the movie, especially since John Campea himself said that he's only seen the first 9 minutes at CinemaCon, and the footage that was in the trailer was all in those first 9 minutes.
But see, that's where I think they did it for one thing and one thing only. Those who actually know Wolverine and Deadpool as well as I know Wolverine and as well as you know Deadpool.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I know this story.
Well, I know both
I know
of
where
them
this
really
is
well.
coming from.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the thing. If you know Wolverine and Deadpool well enough, you instantly see and go, ah, I know where we are. I know where we're going.
Yeah, I straight up though, when I was watching this trailer over and over again, one thing became quite clear to me: one, different Wolverine.
Almost definitely.
Two, not Foxverse Wolverine.
Thank God.
Fox nods are in that Void universe.
Yep.
With the 20th Century Fox logo, with some of the other stuff that's in there. That's all those are all the remnants of the previous version of the Foxverse. We may end up playing around with the Foxverse when they do the portal jumping, because they're going to probably run into some of the old cast members and some of the other people.
Or some people from other
and Wolverine probably won't even remember them at all. Because again, different Wolverine.
Or never met them in his universe.
They will literally come up to him or interact with him if they do at all, and he won't recognize them. He'll be like, "Who are you?" And
or they'll punch him in the face and be like, yeah, I probably deserve that. What did I do to you?
yeah, and the whole time Deadpool's gonna be like, yeah, no, the wrong Wolverine, wrong Logan. This is my Logan.
Or this is the one I stole from this universe.
Yep, yeah, and it's gonna be a bunch of meta jokes.
Oh yeah.
But like, yeah, no, I feel like this Wolverine's gonna be a different Wolverine, and apparently when he gets drunk,
The
he
way
can't pull his
it's
claws
gonna
out.
play out is gonna be so fucking awesome. Though. I can already tell just from the few trailers in this most recent one.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be the fucking movie.
Oh yeah, no, I feel like
I
this
already
is gonna be,
see it's gonna be
one
the
of
movie.
my favorite movies of the year.
Deadpool is gonna be the movie of 24.
Yeah, I mean it wasn't that hard. It's Deadpool.
I mean, not that hard. I think Deadpool's always hard to.
Yeah.
Well, we can argue that one later.
The extra hard edition. 50 Shades of Deadpool edition. Maximum effort edition.
Well, let's wrap this up before it gets too damn late because I have to get some sleep.
So, we've talked about multiple things. Blue Beetle finally got talked about. Now we've talked about Deadpool. We
And
had
Wolverine.
To.
Well, yeah.
Double fisted. This has been Crazy Peas. I'm TPAW.
Karnage 6778, almost everywhere.
Have a week.
How?
Maximum effort.